In the afternoon, right around kickoff, should be about 1 or 2 degrees. And then the low in the evening looks to be -4 for the Riders at the Grey Cup.
B&A Petroleum is a Southern Saskatchewan family-owned business that's there for you. They've been supporting their clients for over 30 years with locations in several communities throughout the southern part of the province. B&A Petroleum is available for all your bulk fuel and lubricant needs, with propane at selected locations Monday to Friday. And don't forget, their Cardlock location is accessible 24 hours for your convenience. B&A Petroleum. Fuel you once, fuel you forever.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
On Roughriders, plunge right through that line. March the ball on down the field, a touchdown every time. Oh, Roughriders, fight on for your fame. Fight, fellows, fight, and we will win this game. Yeah!
Friday Sports Cage, and we are now hours away from the Grey Cup. Thank you very much for making some time today. It's brought to you by Nelson Homes. We're here for 3 hours and a smashed show coming for you. We have Dave and Luke standing by in Winnipeg. We're going to hear from Jamarcus Hardrick, Logan Furland on the show, Farhan, Lalji. We're going to give you an update on ticket prices and hotel prices like we've been doing all week. Dave, one-on-one with the commissioner. He made some noise today. I know a lot of you are already texting in on that, the Prairie Land Rentals text line. We got Paul LaPolice joining us in hour 2. We're going to talk some Huskies, Queens, U Sport football. Wray Morrison, play-by-play voice of the Huskies, will be on the show in hour 2. Scott Schultz, we got to bring Schultz in, the old 96er, as we are Friday before a Grey Cup. He's in hour 3. Eric Francis, well, on Wednesday, Eric Francis had us all busting a gut on his Grey Cup story. Is he going to bring the ball? If you were listening on Wednesday, and if you haven't, go and listen to it right now. Unbelievable story. So funny. Will Eric bring the ball? 5:30 around is when he's going to join us. And we'll hear from Tavon Campbell if there's time later in the show. Again, like I said, brought to you by Nelson Homes. All of our guests are going to be on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Pre-orders are coming in fast and furious, Spiro said. If you're thinking about something for the game on Sunday, you're having a party, call Western Pizza, your local Western Pizza. You can do it online, pre-order. Way easier for everybody involved. And then the text line, 936-6262, Prairie Land Rental, 600 Albert Street in Regina. You get to deal with the owner, whatever that project is that you need a rental piece for, whether it's a power tool, a heater, and then, of course, the Husqvarna snow thrower dealer, 600 Albert Street, Prairie Land Rentals, 936-6262. What are you thinking today? Is it Andre Proulx as the ref? Stuart Johnston remarks, I know a lot of you are still worried. We're still worried. The game's going to the big bad Americans. Can't let that happen. They're changing 2 things, but it's still American. Stu kind of put us in our place. Another thing, too, I want to talk about, and I want you to chime in, but my co-host, it's been a while since this guy's been on the show and co-hosting. Massive Rider fan. I don't know how many Grey Cups has he been to. We'll ask him right now. DA, back in the co-host chair. Colson's here as well, but DA, how many Grey Cups have you been to?
Geez, putting me on the spot here. So 100th, the 95 one was my first one. 100th in Toronto, which was fun.
Was that the one I was at?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good time. So, yeah, I haven't counted them up, but it's been a lot, and they're always a fantastic time. Can't wait for 27, obviously, for it to come back to Reggie, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Grey Cup moments. All right, people, give them to me. Because I was thinking about this morning when Colson and I were putting together the show. And I thought, what are the Grey Cup moments for people that one moment, or maybe there's two that stand out. Maybe you were there live. Maybe it's just something you watched on the tube that you remember, or you heard the call on the radio while you were driving. And the only reason I bring that up, because when Tiger Woods came back and won the Masters, this, how many years ago? That's quite a few years ago now. But no one thought he would. I listened to it on the radio. And I remember I was driving back from Brandon. Actually, my wife was driving. I was in the passenger seat in rough shape. But I was listening to it, and I remember, that whole moment. And then, so for me, for my two Grey Cup moments, actually there's three. And Colson will play the videos later. Dave Ridgway, the kick.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, Tony Champion, that catch in that game. With what ailment was it? Was it broken ribs?
I thought it was a neck thing.
I thought it was broken rib. What?
I think broken ribs could have been
936-62-62. Something wrong with his lumbar? I don't know. And then the other one that it's really weird. I wasn't at 13. So I know a lot of people are probably going to go to 13. The other one, which is really weird, is Rocket Ishmael running that kickback and almost getting hit with the beer can.
The beer can. The John Candy Grey Cup. Yeah.
Those are the three for me. It stand out. What about you?
For me, 13. So pregame, actually, 13 was nuts. I've never seen that many people in there. The Henry chants, and because it was 2 degrees above and it had been minus 40 the rest of the week, just chills. But then the moment in that game, obviously, was the fumble by Durant that Sheets plucks out of the air. And he just it gave the whole stadium, it felt like this, oh my gosh, we're going to win this thing, like that early in the game. So I remember that. For non-Ryder Grey Cups, because it was in our barn here, the kick by Toronto to come back on Winnipeg and win it in our barn in 22. At the time, me and my buddies were like, this is the greatest moment in New Mosaic Stadium history, watching the Bombers lose the Grey Cup. At least we have a much better one now after last week. But the beer one obviously is huge. Well, it's all the time. It's the Lapo slamming, from a negative side, Lapo slamming the headset down, and then watching Rider fans, they just pan the crowd of Rider fans just shredded. So, but yeah.
See, there we go. Champion had cracked/broken ribs. 2 text messages already. Sportscage listeners are in the know. It is, Roscoe's saying flags are up. Yeah, Roscoe, a lot of people have parties planned. You got a party planned?
Yeah.
Lot.
Having some friends and family over to watch the game in the
Western
old basement.
Pizza, obviously.
You bet. Yeah. So, can't wait. It's been 12 years. It's crazy how fast time flies. But 12 years, and that one was here. Yeah. So then it just feels like it's been forever since 2010.
It was like 07. Okay, we win. Then 09, heartbreak. Then we're back in 10. I'm like, we're going to get there all that. And then 13, we're there all the time. And then now 12 years of Bubkus.
Yeah, four Grey Cups out of 7 on that run. Mm-hmm. And then you couldn't have, I don't know what kind of odds I would have given you if you would have said after the 13 Grey Cup, we won't go back to another Grey Cup for 12 years.
Stuart Johnson? Yep. Yeah. His comments today have some people talking. And I know we got some texts here on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. But if you didn't hear it, here was Stu today talking about the Canadian game.
So let me be clear. We are 3 downs, 12 players, unlimited motion, 65 yards wide, and huge end zones.
I just don't know why he didn't do it that day. Lie to me, Jerry. Lie to me. Even if you're not 1,000% that it's never going to change. I don't know what's going to happen in 2090. I won't be here. Who knows? But he just could have said it that day.
So his background's corporate. That was the corporate answer, and he learned his lesson, obviously. He said, actually, this job's different. Well, and, when you're in that space, he gave an answer that they, obviously he said today they hadn't even contemplated it. So it kind of came out of left field for him. But nice to hear him say that this week and sort of calm the waters, I guess, because the old slippery slope argument became pretty hot and heavy here in Canada. Once they announced the changes, it was like, okay, we're changing 3 things. Well, that must mean we're changing everything. And I don't think that's ever going to be the case. There's a strategic reason to remain different. There's strategic reasons to get closer to the U.S. game for sure when you're talking about talent acquisition, investment capital, etc. But my big thing is it's a Canadian game. It's always going to be. It's 100 and what is this? 100.
Oh, and it's
12th Grey Cup, 116th Grey Cup,
so exciting as it is. They're not
so
changing.
Exciting.
I'm glad the one thing that he said in this one was unlimited motion, right? Because it's kind of something that gets overlooked a lot, and it's like, well, I don't really get it. I don't, if you don't coach it maybe as much, but I love that he pointed out that. And it was always going to be the case. And to your point, talent acquisition too. Although it's never really been a massive problem, but it's it's something that has to be looked at. So yeah, there's a lot of remarks. All that. See, there's JJ here. He thinks it's going to hurt the quality of our game.
No. Sorry, disagree.
Okay,
hard pass.
Let's regroup in 3 years.
What I'm excited about, so I watch a ton of college football down in the States, and moving the goalposts back. So I know there's been lots of hand wringing around that. It's going to create a much more going for it on third down. And if you think that kicking a field goal from the 40-yard line or the 37-yard line is more exciting than going for it on 4th and 3, then I would say watch more football.
But then some people will go, though, we're just going to punt it. We're just going to pooch punt it. I'm like, no, you're going to gamble.
You don't. Like, you watch college football, they gamble all the time from the 40.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, I've seen 4th and 10. Like, it radically changes the game in that 10-yard stretch, depending on your kicker's leg. But we've got professional kickers. I mean, the CFL, you're still going to kick field goals, but it will make the game more exciting.
It's the punting thing, the gambling. I feel just sort of the gambling thing is become the new trend in football, and it's probably run by analytics somewhere. And it's all football. It's a lot like hockey, where it used to be you can never pass the puck up the middle. Like, you cannot go up the middle in your own zone. Now guys will break out. They'll throw it right in front of their goalie to a defenseman. Like, if you would have told somebody that in 15 years ago or 20 years ago, their head would have exploded. A coach.
Oh, exactly. Like, the game's changed. To me, we want more third down gambles. Big part of football in general, big part of the CFL. And for me, that's going to radically change how much we go for it on just over half field, so just over the 50-yard line. You're going to see way more going for it, right? Because then, again, on the flip side, if you don't get it, that you're not automatic field goal. Like, the thing about the CFL is that there's so many auto field goals. Like, even the silly, I'll call it silly, giving up safeties instead of punting it. Well, we're punting it from the end zone. We better give up a safety, because if we just punt it, it's an automatic field goal because the posts are right there. No more. You'll be punting out of every end zone, right? Like, and the CFL game has changed a bit. We do punt out of the end zone a lot more than we used to, say, 10 years ago.
I didn't even
But again,
think
all
about
those
that.
small tweaks are going to change the game to put the ball more in the quarterback's hands, more in the running back's hands. Hey, I love kickers, but I'm the big, fantasy football. Let's not have a kicker. I don't need to know all the kickers in the game.
And it's like anything. And there's a lot, I think, personally, I think a lot of it is the inferiority complex of Canadians. It's like we're okay. Like we can have our own game still. It's like they're not, and the other thing is, would anyone even want to put a CFL franchise anywhere in the States? Like they're trying these other leagues now, and they keep failing. It's like NFL and college football is king, and I think they're learning their lesson in a lot of these markets that a secondary league just doesn't work. And there's a lot of people that watch the Canadian game down there on CBS Sports and all that, and they love it, and it's different and it's cool. I think it'd be like watching a different golf league or watching a different basketball league. And my thing is it entertaining? High school football is so entertaining. Youth sports football is so entertaining. If I'm entertained, that's what matters. So, we'll get to more of that in a bit here. But do you want to break, Colster, or do you want to go straight to the fellas? We got a break. Okay, quick break here. Then we're going to be joined by Luke and Dave from Winnipeg. It's a Sports Cage on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
Listen weekdays at noon for Saskatchewan Today on CKRM with your host, Ryan Young, offering the most extensive agricultural news coverage with precision weather meteorologists in an industry that moves fast. Stay updated with the latest, most reliable information in ag news, crisis and trends, all in one place. Available anytime at SaskAgToday.com. Saskatchewan Today, your trusted source for all things agriculture. Sponsored by Affinity Credit Union on 620 CKRM.
Thank you, Rider Nation. The Riders Foundation 50/50 jackpots have been massive this season, and it's all thanks to you. When you buy your 50/50, you're supporting amateur football across the province. And now the Riders are back in the Grey Cup with a guaranteed payout of $250,000. But we know it'll be bigger than that. Don't get hit with regret. Buy your 50/50 tickets at riders5050.ca. And let's bring the Grey Cup to Saskatchewan.
Riders 50/50 is presented by ISC. Lottery license LR250011.
It's home reno season, and with that Regina wind chill, you're better off renovating than relocating. Stay productive with a little help from Freeze Tallman. From drywall and molding to installation and interior doors, they've got everything you need to renovate your space. Freeze Tallman's delivery team can also deliver right to your home if you live in Regina, Fort Capel, or anywhere in southern Saskatchewan. Freeze Tallman's got you covered this reno season. Visit freezetallman.com or see them in Regina or Fort Capel. Freeze Tallman. Let's get you building.
Destiny howls at Griffith Stadium as your University of Saskatchewan Huskies stand one win away from the Vanier Cup. But first, the Youth Sports Mitchell Bowl. The Queens Gales charge west, hungry to silence the pack. The field will shake, the crowd will thunder, and your Huskies will fight for pride, for glory, for Saskatchewan. The Mitchell Bowl, the Huskies versus the Queens Gales, tomorrow at Griffith Stadium. Kickoff at 2:15. HuskyTickets.com. Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Saskatchewan, it's time to talk sports. Sports Cage is on the air. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. And we're always online at sportscage.com. 620 CKRM.
Welcome back. It's for Nelson Homes on Friday. Supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Western Pizza, like I said, get it in you on Sunday. Pre-order is preferred at all of them. Let's go to the Western Pizza Guys hotline. Joining us from Winnipeg, first hit of the day, Dave and Luke at Riderville.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's not Luke and I playing our music that loud. No, we're at Riderville, man.
Suit jacket guy in Riderville. Come on, Davey.
Hey, when you're a pro, you got to go. And I'm going to tell you, man, today has been an absolutely eye-opening day with everything that went down off the field. So a professional attitude is required, I think.
All right.
I'm 3 beers in. I don't know what Dave's talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's my kind of guy right there. Take us through the day, Dave.
All right. Well, today the two big events were the State of the League address from the commissioner, and we're going to hear he took some time and had a conversation with me, and I heard you alluding to the fact that he says he made a mistake. He was not clear enough in defining what the changes would and would not entail. So that was a bit of an eye-opener. But the other one that kind of flew under the radar, he addresses the youth sports fields. He addresses what it's going to look like as far as how the rules will be implemented. He addresses all of that. But the thing that flew under the radar, Major League Baseball right now has got a problem, right? The Cleveland Guardians, 2 pitchers have been allegedly involved in gambling.
Bunch of cheaters.
Well, the commissioner said that they actually have protocols in place in the Canadian Football League where they investigate circumstances where something like that may come to light. There were 5 games this season that were triggered by that. So the league investigated them all. Fortunately enough, there was no wrongdoing that was found. So that was kind of interesting that, oh my gosh, the league does have checks and balances on this one. And so we'll hear more from the commissioner on that. And the other one, Luke, that I'll get your opinion on, the CFLPA held their State of the Union address today. And number one, they talked about the rule changes, and they didn't come out for or against the rule changes. They came out against anti-consultation, if you will. They weren't consulted when it comes to the rules. So they were wanting that to go forward. Today, they listened to the State of the League address. Today is the first time they heard anything about those 5 games that were investigated by the Canadian Football League. That's not the only thing. It's also they didn't know about that protocol being in place. So obviously a bit of a disconnect when it comes to communication there. They talked about how there is an opt-out clause, but the biggest thing that the union is concerned about is some circumvention, if you will, of the salary cap, and that teams were reluctant to put players on the 6-game injured list this year, instead putting them on the 1-game list so that the salary would still count against the cap, which went up right before camp after everyone had signed. So I don't know if that's the norm, Luke, or not, but obviously they're advocating for the players and making sure that the league is a good place.
Well, you know, I mean, when you look at the Canadian Football League, you think about interoperability, right? You've got a commissioner who represents the Board of Governors, but the Board of Governors, they're very much of different opinions a lot of the time because you've got 2 community-owned teams and then you got different type of ownership systems. Right. So, so I think it's hard enough to deal with that piece. Then what you got to do is you got to think about the Canadian Football League Players Association. Referees don't have a union, right? Which I've always felt they should have, but they don't. And there's not a lot invested into the referees. So interoperability is essentially every piece working synonymously together. Harmoniously, in order to grow the league. And I get that the CFL Players Association is like, oh, yeah, we weren't consulted. But how much are you going back to the league office and asking for updates, right? So you've kind of got to force the issue at first, especially with a new guy like Stuart Johnson. When he steps in, he's probably got a laundry list of items that the Board of Governors is giving him. And I guarantee you one of them is not, hey, by the way, touch base with the CFLPA, see how they're doing. So you just got to make sure that you're trying to, get everybody on the same page. As a leader in an organization at the moment, one of the things that is appreciated, I know, is when I make a mistake, I own up to it. I at least acknowledge it. So hearing Stuart Johnson come out today saying, you know what, I wasn't as detailed in my approach as I should have been. Here are some of the things that I should have said. Obviously, some of that is because he got the blowback and now knows what messaging people want.
So,
but I mean, you could always get up there if you want and be like, look, it is what it is. And he didn't do that.
So, Luke, listen to how DA puts it and the corporate. To explain that to the fellas.
Yeah, so obviously the new commissioner's background is corporate. And so I think he's learning on the fly what it means to have a very public job. And, he's getting asked questions in public and he's giving honest answers at the time without realizing all the repercussions of his job being so public. A lot of lessons learned by me, too, as my job's now new public. But I think that's a little bit of it, is that he's going to learn on the job this year, and obviously next year will be much more buttoned down in these types of issues, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the way that's diplomacy, right? And every leader needs to learn it when he comes into an organization, especially one that's as front-facing as the Canadian Football League, right? You got to understand diplomacy. You got to figure it out. And again, it's refreshing to hear a guy come out and be like, "Look, you know what? Might have made a mistake the first couple of steps we took, but guess what? We're on the right path now." I'll tell you what. I've talked to a lot of folks here in the Grey Cup as the weeks progressed. I haven't heard one bad thing from folks about Stuart Johnson. All of the stakeholders really like him. I know that I've talked to a few fans now that have gotten a chance to chat with him, whether it be in the airport, whether it be on the road, and they really enjoy him. And again, it's all about what you're saying in public versus some of the conversations like you talked about, right? Diplomacy is everything in a front-facing organization, and this is about as front-facing as it gets in the Canadian Football League.
Okay, Dave, I'm going to throw to both you guys here, too. We got about another 3 minutes here, and then Farhan's going to be coming in. But we're going to play first off the Hardrick clip where he's at a loss for words from last night.
Really doesn't feel real. Been in this league a while. Seen some guys I look up to chase this thing. Doesn't feel like I'm holding, but just happy, man. Didn't do it alone as one person award, but it was a lot of people did it. And let's go get this one Sunday.
Dave, take me through the emotion, kind of what you felt as the broadcaster, seeing him, what he went through last night.
And that was it, right? The culmination of all the work that he put in the season last year and off season to get to the point where he was named the most outstanding offensive lineman in the Canadian Football League last night. You could see it was emotional. He brought his kids up on stage with him to receive the award, which I thought was pretty cool. So good on Jamarcus Hardrick, again, such a great leader and so well deserving of the award.
Luke,
yeah, I talked to Marcus after, and it was funny how locked in he is, man. As soon as I talked to him, I said, "Hey, congratulations!" You know what he said to me? First thing he said, "Let's go finish the job."
Oh, there's a band starting. Trying to figure out what song that is in the background as we go. But Luke, honestly, did you think that he was going to make it back and be where he was with what he went through last year? Be honest.
No. I think that it's actually kudos to his ability to handle the things outside of the white lines. When you get to Yoshi's age, obviously your body doesn't react to things, or it does react to things a lot differently. He's had to work a lot harder, to rehab and that injury he suffered is a devastating injury, by the way, right? A lot of guys at his point in his career probably wouldn't have made it back to his level of play. And for him to not just make it back, but also come and be the most outstanding offensive lineman in the league, it's just a phenomenal feat. Yeah. And I'll just say, you got to remember what guys in this league or even from this organization have won it. You're looking at Gene Mikowski. You're looking at Drew Green, guys I played with. Those two, there was nobody better in the league than those two when they were at their height of their game. And so for him to get back and get past not just the height of his game, but the height of the league, it's phenomenal.
Okay, Little Willie is really bleeding in. Great song by Sweet back in 1973. So you guys take a break. Dave, go find a Rider jersey or a tank top for our next hit, and then we're going to catch up with you guys next hour.
You bet, because Little Willie won't go home. Little Willie.
Dave and Luke, go have another beer. Dave and Luke live at Riderville, having a blast out there in Winnipeg. We'll go to break here because I think Farhan Lalji's standing by from TSN. You got any questions for him on the game? Fire them away right now. Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. It's a Sports Cage. Farhan's coming up next.
Ready to raise your shower game? Rent a water heater and water softener together from Reliance Heath and turn every shower into a spa-worthy experience. Right now, when you rent a new water heater and water softener together, you'll get $400 back, sent by check after installation. Why settle for meh when you can upgrade your whole home's water and get big cashback savings? Don't miss out on this limited time offer.
Call on Reliance.
Call on Reliance Heath today.
Be the reason Saskatchewan children have hope for a brighter future when you donate to Jim Pattison Children's Hospital Foundation. Support the Making Spirits Bright catalog at pattisonchildrens.ca.
Donate to the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital to help kids like me.
Your donation will be doubled up to $75,000 thanks to a match by Thrive Wealth Management. Make a difference today by donating to Jim Pattison Children's Hospital Foundation at pattisonchildrens.ca.
Out here in southern Saskatchewan, the sun shows up for work every day. Might as well make it earn its keep. That's where Keln Solar comes in. These folks travel all over the province helping people put solar on their homes, farms, and cabins. They're local guys, Sask-born, Sask-raised, and not going anywhere. Except, to your place. Now's the time to start planning for spring and summer 2026 bookings. Give Keln Solar a call and they'll come show you your best options. Keln Solar. They move the power so you don't have to. KelnSolar.com.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality.
In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes.
Or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
This fall, the eyes of Canadian University football turn to Regina. The University of Regina, City of Regina, and U Sports proudly host the 60th anniversary of the Vanier Cup, Saturday, November 22nd at Mosaic Stadium. It's the first time Regina welcomes this historic championship, showcasing the best in Canadian university football. Tickets start at just $10 for youth and students, $20 for adults, and kids under 5 are free. That's Saturday, November 22nd, Mosaic Stadium. Get your tickets now at vaniercup.com.
It's time to get the inside story. TSN's Farhan Lalji on Sportscage is brought to you by the Cooperators. Time to get financially fit? Cooperators can build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
There he is, the party host, Farhan Lalji. Heard it was quite the banger the other night.
It was fabulous, and with these events, we do this media party every year on the Wednesday of Grey Cup week. And, generally we're pretty involved, right? Like Naylor and I do more than just put our name on it. Last year with the Lions, we met with the Grey Cup committee and we went and met with the venue and their managers and got sponsors. And this time about 2 months ago, I called Wade Miller and I said, hey, Wade, let's talk a bit about the media party. Let's get it going. Oh, it's all done. Well, no, man, I got these guys that want to. No, it's all done. Don't worry about it. And it was. So we go to this barbecue place that's only been open for a year called Bell's Kitchen, and it was fantastic. Like I go to Texas and Kansas City and places like this for NFL, and I've never had barbecue like this. Usually, we bring out nachos and wings and chicken strips. This was full on brisket. Like barbecue chicken that would melt in your. Oh my God! You should have been there. That is reason alone for you to come on the road for Grey Cup, my friend.
No deal. It's not happening. I'm in Winnipeg Thursday though in hockey rinks.
You're also the sales guy. You're the guy who can make it happen. You control the money. You're not just the talking head.
I know. Got to play things close to my chest vest region. Farhan. Guys got to golf for this winter. But that's, Stu Johnson comes out with the comments today, and a lot of people are talking about it. And everyone's going to say, oh, you guys are just on side with the CFL, especially you, because you're TSN, because the big bad Americans are going to steal our game, which you and I have talked about. It's not the case. But he comes out with the comments that he should have said initially. DA says that's the learning coming from the corporate world.
Yeah, look, it is. But at the same time, right, like generally when you're in those positions, it doesn't save you a lot to say never say never, right? I mean, that's just, you don't know what's going to happen when you could be gone in 5 years. You don't know what it's going to look like. But it probably would have assuaged a lot of angst in the marketplace, especially in places like Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. I mean, and we're in Winnipeg and Saskatchewan's playing in it, so that's where the bulk of the media comes from, and that's where the biggest amount of pushback is, right? Like they're the two most passionate markets in the league. So, he probably spent 3/4 of his time answering rules-related questions, and there's a lot of other things to get to, right? So, he got it right today, and I think he checked a lot of boxes.
Yeah, and I guess, what was the mood in the room today? What was, was there a lot of anxiety or sort of were the fans in there kind of anxious, or was it a jovial mood? It's the Grey Cup.
Fans.
Oh, there's no
There
okay,
were no
sorry.
fans. No, usually what happens is you have two separate events for the commissioner, right? Like you'll have your media event, and then you'll have a separate fan event. And they didn't do the fan event. Now, I do know that there is an appearance that Stu's making at a restaurant at some point this week, but it's not necessarily being presented as the commissioner's state of the league to the fans. And I'll be honest with you, like some people will say, oh, well, he's chicken, he should be man enough and take it. No. Right? Like there's nothing good can come of that given the angst that's around it, in my opinion. So if I were advising him, which I'm not, I would have said to avoid it because, you just never know when someone gets a little out of control and does something they shouldn't have. And then that becomes viral. Like you don't want that image. And, this thing is a hot button topic. So the fact that he didn't have a massive fan event, I think was smart.
Awards last night. What jumps out at you there?
Not really any surprises. I think I picked Devin Varasek as my top rookie. So I was surprised that Trey Vavel got both the rookie and the special teams award. I did pick him as my top special teams guy, but all the others kind of went according to plan. I know that Bo Levi Mitchell kind of shakes his head a bit as much as he respects Nathan Rourke. But, at the end of the day, when you look at the numbers and you add the running numbers to the passing numbers, all of which count, Nathan Rourke was clearly the most valuable player, the most outstanding player in this league. There really is no doubt about it, right? And if you're going to win the MOP, you're going to win the MOC. Matthew Betts, I thought was worthy, but, it really was a tale of two seasons for Betts and Julian Hauser on the other side for that award. I don't know that there was anyone else who had a really, really compelling case, like, let's say, Roland Milligan did a year ago. So, that part of it made sense, but Nathan's going to be the face of this league for a long, long time, and, it was the right selection to make, and, we'll see if he ever winds up getting into this big game at some point down the road.
Okay, here's a question. After, let's say, 12 games, Davis Alexander, who's better, him or Nathan Rourke after 12 games?
Well, like for me, I've said this, the only player close to Nathan Rourke in terms of talent, ability, all of it in this league is Davis Alexander. Like they're two at a different level in my mind. So, 12 games wasn't going to get it done for Davis this year, given Nathan's numbers, close to 6,000 yards of offense, 41 touchdowns combined. Those are pretty special numbers. And he played two less games, right? So I know people say, well, Davis led the league in passing. Well, he kind of didn't because on a per-game basis, not Davis, Bo, on a per-game basis, Nathan had that too, right? So, and it's not like the Lions missed the playoffs, right? Like Bo did a year ago. They did host a playoff game, so I thought it made sense. And, Davis wasn't going to be able to get that done with 12 games this year.
Yeah, but sorry, what I was asking is when you go back to Nathan after 12 games and his trajectory, where he was going, and then now we're talking about Davis, who do you think is in a better spot?
You mean you talk about in the future, like next year and beyond?
Like, remember Nathan after 12 games? We were hyping him. It was great. He was great. He had some losses under his belt. I don't think there was this much hype around Nathan as there is Davis.
Maybe. I mean, at that point, 12 games into it, Davis was hurt at that point, right? I mean, he missed about half the season. But early in the year, right, like before he got hurt, this was Davis Alexander's award to lose, right? I mean, like the Owls were two different teams with and without Davis, and his numbers were outstanding. We know his win-loss record, right? Like he's never lost a game. We all know the history and the math around that. So, you keep anything like that up, the wins and losses at some point are going to outweigh the statistics. And Davis Alexander had both of those through the first, 6 or 7 weeks of the season before he got hurt. So it was there for him, and it will be again, right? I mean, it's going to be fun. The fact that these two quarterbacks are young, they're still in their 20s, it's going to be fun watching these guys. And for me, I know people in Sask will say, oh, well, you're a homer, this and that. Like, I want Trevor Harris to win this Grey Cup, right? Like, I got a lot of time for Trevor Harris. He is a good dude. He's playing football at a very high level at an advanced age, and I don't want Trevor Harris to be the best to never win one. But there was the part of me that thought Nathan and Davis in the big game, knowing they're going to run this league for a while, as the top two quarterbacks, that would have been a cool storyline and a cool matchup as well. But, I've gone back and forth on my picks. Go ahead.
Maybe I'll pose it like this. 2021, Nathan Rourke, Is he better than 2025 Davis Alexander?
Well, 2022 Nathan Rourke, prior to the injury, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
better. Right?
Okay.
Like, I mean, that, and I think his season right now is very close to what he did in 2022. So, yeah, I mean, he processes the game so well. They both have tremendous arm talent. They both have, they're great with their legs, and they both have charisma and the ability to lead, right? Nathan didn't have that in 2022. He does now. So I think we're splitting hairs on him, but I would probably give Nathan the edge, based on all of that.
Okay.
So, obviously you mentioned it would have been intriguing to have both Nathan and Davis in the game. With them both in the Grey Cup City, though, are you seeing that they're becoming the face of the league? Is there, the fan desire to see them, media requests, etc.? Is that sort of turning, or is it, back to the stalwarts and who's in the game? Like, are you seeing that change? It's kind of, for a guy like me who's been a fan for a long time, it was almost worrisome for a point where who's going to be the next stable of quarterbacks, and now all of a sudden it seems like we have these two guys. Does it feel like that in Winnipeg?
Yeah, I think it does, right? I mean, Davis has got an entirely different story going into this game because everybody wants to know how healthy he is, and his health will determine who wins this Grey Cup. I'm hedging my pick because of Davis's hamstring, and there was a lot of media requests for Nathan throughout the day. On Wednesday, right, when he got in the day before, when those guys were made available. Then after he got both awards, and as well today. I think he flies back today. I don't think he's actually, no, let me take that back. He flies back tomorrow evening. So he's been busy. We're going to have him on our Grey Cup Saturday show tomorrow. So he's making appearances on behalf of the league, and that's good, right? I believe he's the one true superstar in this league, right? To go back to Ed Hervey's comments, and it's nice to have players that can transcend their markets, because this league is lacking that, right? I mean, peak Bo Levi Mitchell a decade ago and peak Mike Riley a decade ago could be those guys. They're not now. And, so the fact that Nathan is that guy, and certainly his comments this year about the rule changes and everything probably endeared him to a lot of people. And Davis, just with his style and, the white tank tops and, all of it, like, he's slowly starting to escape beyond just his market, and people around the league are starting to know who he is. And I think that's a real positive for the league when players can extend beyond their markets.
How do you really think that hamstring is? Obviously, they're saying the right things. Oh, treatment's gone well. He's going up and down the field, and things are good. How do you think it really is?
I don't know. Like, he looked fine today, but he wasn't scrambling around, right? Like, running straight ahead is one thing. Then scrambling is another thing. Then having to do it in game suddenly, right? Where it's not just, okay, you're going to back up and then you're just going to roll out to the right and maybe test that a little bit in a practice setting. No, you've got to stick your foot in the ground and jump cut to try to get out. And I can only imagine Corey Mace's game plan, or a big part of it early in the game, is to create inside pressure, additional blitzes, and force Davis to scramble outside. Not edge pressure that allows him to comfortably step up. I want him to not just force him outside. I want to force him to the right so that left hamstring gets strained, right, and really tested. So, there's nothing they can do in practice to tell me that we know for sure. They know he's hurt. They know he's not 100%, but can he be close enough for 60 minutes? I have my doubts.
I talked to a guy this morning. I said, you got to make a move, and you got to make a move out. So.
Yeah, and then you got to see if he can. So if it is hampering him and he's not able to do the scrabbling, it's such a big part of his game. Now all of a sudden, can he beat you from the pocket? Like, is he the guy who can sit back there and beat you from the pocket for a full game? And if that part of his game is hampered at all, it'll be a very interesting thing to watch for the first quarter for sure.
Well, like, look, make no mistake, Davis Alexander has arm talent, right? Like, he doesn't just have to play like a man possessed and scramble around and do all of that. He's got arm talent. But, if you're going to keep him in the pocket the whole time, he's got to get through multiple progressions. Can he do that? Or, will Jason Moss kind of revert back to a bit of a Cody Fajardo offense where it's just like all screens and everything within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and just get the ball out of his hands really, really quickly so that those blitzes and those early attempts by Saskatchewan to make him run aren't a factor. So I don't know yet whether or not he can get through 4 progressions like a Nathan Rourke can. I'm not saying he can't. I just haven't seen it as much because he's not needed it. Well, if depending on how Saskatchewan plays, they're going to want to find that out as well. But this guy's got the arm to make every throw from the pocket. He just doesn't have to play off platform.
All right, Coach, I need your coaching hat on here. You're with Noel Thorpe. You guys are talking things over. What are you playing? More man, more zone? How much are you mixing it up?
You have to mix it up because Trevor Harris has seen all of it, right? And he knows what the base core and structure of Noel Thorpe's defense is. Like he knows where to go with the football. And the fact that he gets the ball out of his hands so quickly makes him really difficult to blitz effectively. So you're going to drop out a lot. But you've got to drop, like, number one, on first down, you've got to keep guys in because you got to deal with AJ Ouellette. But then after that, you've just got to give him different zone looks, knowing that it's not going to be a heavy dose of blitz because you won't get to him anyway. But, find 3 or 4 different coverages, show this, get into that, and just try to change the picture because there isn't much that Trevor Harris hasn't seen yet.
Quick question on Trevor Harris, too. I felt last week in the first half, he really was staring down his first read, which isn't him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to chalk that up to just the pressure of the moment. Are you feeling, a little bit of relief now that he's there and more focus after getting through the West Final? Or, should we be looking at someone who's maybe going to squeeze the ball a little bit, trying to finally get that Grey Cup?
Yeah, the one thing with Trevor, I think at this stage of his career, he truly isn't making it about him. Like, he loves this team. He loves this organization. Like, it's real. So while everybody else might want to win it for him, he wants to win it for everybody. So I don't think there's going to be that thing from Trevor where he's trying to make a statement and show that he's going to get his. But I do think, to your point, that getting through the first half of that Western Final, that was a big deal because he was off. Like, he was totally off. And the fact that the Lions had 3 of their 4 drops in the first half and couldn't really take advantage of a struggling Trevor Harris was as big a factor in that game as Corey Mace's decisions and BC not being able to get a first down and all of those kinds of things. So I do think there's a level of relief that he just got through it. But in terms of this game, I think you're going to see the most team-friendly version of a pretty team-friendly guy. Like, he will get the ball to the right guys at the right time and give you the best possible opportunity to win this game for Saskatchewan.
All right, 30 seconds. We're a Sports Select show here, so it has now Montreal. It was 4 yesterday, -3.5. Is this game going to come down to a field goal?
Yes, and I think Saskatchewan's going to win. And look, before the season started, I had Montreal beating Saskatchewan in the Grey Cup. Throughout the playoffs, including last week, I said Montreal, Saskatchewan are going to advance. Montreal is going to win. But now, because of that hamstring, I'm picking Trevor Harris and the Riders.
Okay. If I show up tomorrow, I want some of them leftovers from that barbecue. Just keep that in the fridge.
Done.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We
Have a
can
good
do
one.
it.
Talk to you next week, Farhan.
Thanks, Farhan.
See you, boys.
Yeah. Farhan Lalji, it's brought to you by the Cooperators. They can build a plan that works for you and get financially fit. Invest in your future together. Still more to come. Sportscage. We're on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
It's the absolute final deadline to get in on the Hospitals of Regina Foundation Home Lottery tonight. Your last chance to get in to win the $1.7 million grand prize show home plus $50,000 in cash. Dino, tell us about the home.
Oh, absolutely. The most valuable show home we've done in the history of the lottery. It comes with $50,000 in cash. It's over 4,400 square feet of finished space, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, a wine room, and a fully equipped home theater with 2-level seating and a huge projection screen.
So how do the lottery proceeds support our local health care?
Well, everything we raise through the lottery and all the other programs of the foundation, of course, goes to support programs in our hospitals and healthcare facilities here in Regina in support of both Regina and Southern Saskatchewan. In 2025, we've committed $6 million to our hospitals, including for pediatrics, for our children, our surgical programs, cardiac unit, a lot of other programs in our hospitals. Every single dollar we raise goes to that, and I'm very, very grateful to our community community for their support.
Where can we get tickets?
Very easy. Just go to hrfhomelottery.com. You can do that online or give us a call at 1-800-667-7760.
Experience counts, and Louis Dreyfus Company's team has over 150 years of combined expertise. Act before October 31st with the LDC Next Era program and receive extra rebates. This program carries a higher premium, trucking incentives, and varieties that have proven better yields. Choose varieties like the Liberty Link 3901 or 3018 or the new Optimum Glide 4970. Louis Dreyfus Yorkton, 877-782-8882 or ldcyorkton.com.
I still just don't understand it. It's like buying a jigsaw puzzle and only getting half the pieces. I'm Wood Country Woody, and I like things done right. That's why my garage package came from Wood Country. A Wood Country garage package contains everything you need right from the start, including appearance-grade lumber, all your nails and screws, and walk-in doors with cladded jambs. It's one and done right with Wood Country.
Your home is your castle.
In McLean, Estevan, and Tisdale, wood-country.com.
I got $300. You want to have a $3? Hi, I'm Lauren McDougall. After more than 40 years in the auction world, I'm proud to share that I've joined McBid's Auctioneers as CEO. We're a brand new independent company built on family values, integrity, and a passion for great service. Our team has the experience, the tools, and the drive to get the job done right. I'd love to reconnect, share ideas, and help you with your next auction or appraisal. Visit mcbids.ca and register to bid. We're building something special, and I'd love to have you be part of it. $100 anywhere, sold!
Whoa, what's that?
Oh, that's just my telephone.
Are you maybe not as up to date as you could be?
Hello? Oh, hello, Elsie.
Head to Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer, and check out their selection of top-of-the-line smartphones. Here you go, Grandma.
Oh, isn't this lovely? Whoa.
Visit Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Moosomin today. Check out their new renovations and say hi to the gang.
Hello?
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Bundle and save with Reliance Heath. Rent a new water heater and softener together and get $400 cash back. Call on Reliance Heath today.
Some quick hockey in the area tonight. Western Hockey League. Pats host the Medicine Hat Tigers. You can hear that game here on 620 CKRM. Saskatchewan Junior League. Weyburn welcomes Warman. Melfort's in Nipawin. Humboldt's in Flin Flon. And Kindersley plays host to Estevan Prairie Junior League. Regina Silver Foxes welcoming Assiniboia. Female U18 AAA Stars of Saskatoon in Notre Dame. National Hockey League. Vancouver's at Carolina. And then the Sportscage.com poll today. Do you think the CFL will ever move away from 3 downs? Go and vote at Sportscage.com. Here's the interview. Dave and the commissioners. We go to break. We're coming back with Dave and Luke. Lapo after news.
Commissioner Stuart Johnston, tell me about the new rules and the reception and maybe the perception that they're Americanizing the Canadian Football League game.
I've been thrilled with the positive feedback from fans and media, partners, players, coaches, who have said that they are excited about the changes and how they will showcase our great Canadian game. However, there is one thing I want to clarify. When we announced those rule changes, I did not do enough to emphasize something very important: our unwavering commitment to the Canadian game. So let me be clear. We are 3 downs, 12 players, unlimited motion, 65 yards wide, and huge end zones. These rules are not going anywhere. The new rules embrace innovation and perpetual improvement while protecting what makes Canadian football special. The Rules Committee, which features coaches, the CFLPA, and officials, will review the effect of these rules to make decisions on a wide range of items, such as the last 3 minutes of each half. We will make sure we maintain the league's reputation for thrilling comebacks and finishes. No lead is safe in the CFL. Not only am I guaranteeing that we are a 3-down game, I can guarantee that it never crossed our minds anything other than that.
That leads to the next question. Is expansion to the U.S. on the radar for the CFL?
It is not our objective. When it comes to expansion, I've often been asked that question. And I've said, while it's not a top priority, I've outlined what my 3 top priorities of the league office are. While it's not a top priority, of course, it's incredibly important. We would love to have a 10th team in this league. But when I say 10th team, I mean a Canadian 10th team. That is our focus.
The other question we commonly get is the impact to youth sports who share fields with CFL teams and amateur football as a whole in Canada.
Well, I'll start with youth sports. Have had some great conversations with youth sports, and those will continue as they kind of consider any downward impact on those changes. But let me be clear, they don't have to change. Amateur football doesn't have to change. These rules, they are still playing the Canadian game. They're throwing, catching, kicking, running, 3 downs. 12 players. That game can exist on any type of field. For those stadiums, those 3 stadiums that do share with youth sport, it will be the CFL's responsibility to change the field back and forth in a case that they do not adopt the same changes.
Lastly, give me your take on the effectiveness of the CFL Replay Center.
I'm going to start by saying I believe we have world-class referees. And part of what I've really enjoyed learning is dealing with football operations, dealing with our crew of referees. I watch them week in, week out do one of the hardest jobs I can imagine, and they do it exceptionally well. And we have very strict review of every play in every game, and it is impressive how effective they are. The Replay Center is trying to support those incredible referees with anything that might be clear and obvious that might be missed. I sat and watched a full game in the Replay Center just to get a sense of what that was like. I was incredibly impressed with the communication that happens from that crew down to the field. And just by the way, I did not say a single word while I was at the back bench. I had no influence. I was just observing. And really impressive how they play, how they work together, I should say. Now, having said that, you're 100% right. Game flow is critically important. I think every league in the world of similar nature, not just football, is trying to simplify that type of process. And I know at the winter meetings in January, we will go over how do we keep the excellence of what we do, but simplify the process and move that game flow faster.
From the towers to the tractors, country's greatest hits. 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Corey Atkinson from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news. A Saskatchewan man has been found guilty of second-degree murder in the 2006 stabbing death of 19-year-old Misha Pavlik during a fight near Regina Beach. Pavlik was knifed in the heart at a campground party involving several people. The accused, now in his 30s, cannot be named because he was a youth at the time. He looked down and muttered to himself as the jury returned its verdict after 3 days. Pavlik's parents cried as the decision was read. We've received word of a 2-vehicle collision around 9th Avenue North and McCarthy Boulevard on the northwest part of Regina. Roads are blocked off between McIntosh and Courtney Street and 7th Avenue North to Rink Avenue. We'll provide more information once it becomes available. The Saskatchewan government has approved major changes to the craft production levy for refreshment beverages, raising the craft limit from 3,500 hectolitres to 30,000 and adjusting levy rates for small producers. Officials say the goal is to reduce barriers for growing producers of hard seltzers, iced teas, and other drinks. The province says the update better matches how other craft products are handled. The levy applies to producers that choose to self-distribute, and the new rules took effect on November 1st. Canada's biggest oil shipper is looking to send more oil sands crude south of the border through expansions to existing pipelines. Enbridge says it has given the official green light to projects that will boost throughput on its cross-country Canadian mainline and its Flanagan South pipeline in the U.S. Colin Grunding is president of Enbridge's liquids pipelines business. He says even with the continued elbows-up sentiment, the U.S. is the best market to focus on.
We think south makes the most sense. That's where we've got the world's biggest refining complex and who want more of our Canadian oil. Other foreign imports are waning, so the opportunity set is pretty strong south.
Grunding says he doesn't see an oversupply of Canada-U.S. pipelines being a risk. Statistics Canada says manufacturing sales rose in September to hit their highest level since February.
The agency says the 3.3% gain was driven by strength in the auto and energy industries. Stacan noted the September increase in motor vehicle sales, which dropped in August, came as some auto assembly plants in Ontario resumed full production after summer shutdowns and retooling. Capital Economics says not all of the details in the report were rosy, but overall it still supports its view that the Bank of Canada will likely hold off on cutting rates further for now. Michelle Sadikian, The Canadian Press.
And police in Oakland, California say Laney College football coach John Beam, known from Netflix's Last Chance U, has died after being shot on campus. Police announced his death on Friday, a day after the shooting. A suspect has been arrested. This marks the second school shooting at a school in Oakland in 2 days. That was your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
Brought to you by Line X Regina, Serious Protection Killer Lux, 1865 McCarra Street. Weather tonight, mainly clear and a low down to -5. Getting a little windy out of the northwest, 20, gusting up to 35. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 4. Tomorrow night, clear and a low down to -3. Sunday, here in Regina, mostly sunny and a high of 3 degrees. Monday, partly sunny, maybe a few flurries in the area and a high of +1. And Tuesday, chance of light snow, steadier late in the day and a high of 1. Now, as for Winnipeg on Sunday in the afternoon, right around kickoff, should be about 1 or 2 degrees. And then the low in the evening looks to be -4 for the Riders at the Grey Cup.
For 40 years, the team from Line X Regina has been protecting vehicles across Saskatchewan, and we're changing with the times. 3 generations of our family have protected your vehicles. Our business has evolved, and we're not stopping now. The next generation is here. Same family, same commitment, ready for the next generation of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards in all kinds of colors. Line X Regina, 1865 McCarra Street, the next generation of protective coatings.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back to the Sports Cage on this Friday for Nelson Homes. Nelson Homes been supplying home packages and RTMs for a long time, over 65 years. DA's with me, co-host today. Colson's got everything on the board. We're going to go back out to Winnipeg in moments to Riderville. Party animals, Dave and Luke, are standing by. I've been doing this all week, DA. I'm using the same aftermarket ticket site that I always use.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say I always use, that I've used. And the price of tickets. So it started on Tuesday. Upper deck seats were $210. Then on Wednesday, they went to $220. Then yesterday, it went to $195. Today, as we are now, 48 hours away, where do you think at upper deck, 2 upper deck seats are? If yesterday was $195, where do you think they are today?
I'm going to say $190. I think they're going to just slowly come down from now till game day.
$169.
$169. Wow.
I predict by kickoff, you're going to be able to get into this bad boy for a decent price. So if lots of people out there are still thinking about going. I've looked at hotels are staying. The ones that I'm looking at have stayed the same for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A little over $1,000 for all 3 nights if you want to stay in and around Winnipeg. I talked to a guy today, and he said we're staying out in Portage, an hour away.
Wow.
To each their own. For me, in my 40s, I'm staying in Winnipeg.
Yeah, save a couple $100 on it.
Yeah, but when you're younger, it's like, yeah, you do crazy stuff. Let's stay in Winkler. Yeah. Let's stay in Altona. Let's rent a barn.
It's 3 a.m. and you're like downtown Winnipeg going, how am I getting home?
Yeah, isn't it part of the experience? Like it's experience. You and I are experience fund. What's the experience budget for the year?
Right.
And but hey, to each their own. There's some decent hotels, and I don't think they're that bad of a price for the Grey Cup. Maybe those will go down too by tomorrow if you're thinking about going. Some people have texted in, they're still thinking of going. Some people are saying they just pulled the trigger and they're driving. So
yeah, I think for me, like trying to get into the as I've looked for festival tickets earlier this week. That's where my thing was. Can I get into the festival?
Yeah.
Because it's been sold out forever. And that's, obviously a massive part of Grey Cup.
Yeah. It's you got to know the right people. And in this situation, I do not know the right people. I'm finding out, so whatever. It is. Yeah, I'm fine. Western Pizza on Sunday and watch it on the tube. Let's go back out on the Western Pizza guest hotline where they're advising you to pre-order for Sunday because it is going to be busy. Dave Thomas and Luke Mullender are standing by at Riderville. Inside, there they are. The fellas, Luke's doing what a guy should be doing at Riderville. Atta baby, right there. No, Dave, it's okay. You just take care of him. Please take care of him.
What do you mean? I don't. This is not my first rodeo, brother. This is not my first.
No, it might be your last.
You forget, man. I hosted the Grey Cup. We hosted Riderville. I emceed Riderville in the Grey Cup in 2013, 14, and 15. 2013 being one of the best. But I'm excited about this weekend. So don't worry, man. It's not my first rodeo.
Hey, Luke, I was on MTV Spring Break in Lake Havasu when I was 19 too, but I wouldn't be doing it at this age. I tell you that much right now. We've all done things when we were younger, but now it's like you just do it.
You ever seen? Hey, Barney, you ever seen the movie Troy?
No.
You seen that movie?
No.
Oh, well, one of the kids is like, hey, man, that guy's the biggest guy I've ever seen in my life. And you know what Achilles looks at? I'm going to do that to you, too. He looks at him, he goes, that's why nobody will remember your name.
What?
You got to be able to do it at any age, brother.
No.
So now that you're at the festival, quick questions. I had a buddy checking. We were talking about Grey Cup moments. Saturday night, 2013. So the night before the game, DD coming out on stage. Something I'll never forget. Unbelievable. Man. Talking about the festival. Obviously, there's lots of great memories or not so remembered memories of those nights. But as someone who's hosted, like you said, do you have a lot of fond memories of the festival?
Well, that Darian Durant thing, it was funny how that came together. I texted him. I was like, look, I'm hosting Riderville. While I got this platform, I want you to see the love these guys got for you, man, because it was towards the end of the week, and so I called. And he's like, man, let's make it happen. And I don't think he knew what I meant. So I called his buddy Jeff Armstead. Shout out Team Dime. So Jeff Armstead and we arranged it. I talked with the security and everything. So we arranged it so that Jeff would be able to, where Riderville was happening in the soccerplex, the VIP and all that stuff was right at the back, right? And it was roped off. So Jeff was able to just drive up to the door. We opened the door and we took Durant out of the car. And then the guys from F Troop, shout out to F Troop, they watched the car while it was parked outside the building. Oh, geez. So doubles could come in and we were like, hey man, look, we're gonna introduce you. But I mean, you remember, you talk about it, right? Remember we acted like we didn't know what was happening. We acted like there was a technical difficulty and stuff. And man, when we were like, oh well, I guess because Dave. So what happened, Dave, was we were like, oh man, we got this great special guest for you. We took this interview. Here it is, and the guys were they didn't know what was wrong. Yeah. What are you talking about? We don't have any film. And we were like, oh well, I guess we got to do this in person. And when we brought doubles out, when we introduced doubles, the building erupted. Yeah, it erupted.
Exploded.
And it was awesome. It exploded, brother. You're right, man. And it was funny because the people that I had seen, it was 9:30. The people I had seen that evening, they were like, anybody who said, oh yeah, we're about to head over there, I'm like, no, you don't want to do that. And they were like, well, what do you mean? I was like, you probably want to stay here till about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And they're like, no, we got to. I'm like, all right, go if you want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to, yeah.
Fair warning.
That was probably one of the more memorable moments, man. But it was because it was one of those moments where Doubles got to see how much people loved him, man, and the team. You know what I mean? And it meant a lot. And me and Lance wanted him to see that, because I'm not sure if you guys know this, but like when Doubles was on the road, like he was locked in, right? He was watching film in the hotel room. He wasn't out and about like we were. You know what I mean? So because he was the starting quarterback, he was the face of the franchise. So for him to be able to see that and how much people love him, that was awesome. And then basically as soon as he came off stage, guys, we like whisked him away. Jeff's little compact BMW was waiting outside the door. He jumped in and they were out of there.
That's fantastic. I didn't know the backstory. That's fantastic.
What is Riderville? Paint the picture for us, or turn the camera around. I don't know if someone's watching the stream. What are we, just in a big box, like a big convention center? What is it? Hockey rink?
Well, no, it's a big convention center, so all of the team parties are here. This is a big room. One side, you've got all kinds of merchandise and stuff. There's a cornhole area where I saw you were schooling some folks.
Yeah, I just dominated the competition over there quickly before I came back over here.
Yeah, chill zone over there. You got a stage there just over the way where they're, of course, doing a little Shania Twain right now. So yeah, it's a great atmosphere.
Think one of the Queensberry one of the Queensberry room boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Lit up in green with Riderville all over it, and people are starting to trickle in. Right? This place is going to be bumping around 7:00.
What do we got? A carpet? We got a little dance floor? What do we got there?
There's a dance floor up there.
There's a dance floor up there. There's
better
a
be.
place to take. If you want a picture with Dave Thomas, you better get down to Riderville right now, because there's a picture area as well.
Luke Muller is the one, but yeah.
There we go. Let's get Luke. You got to get a picture when he lets his hair down tonight. That's what I want to see. And then can you go request some Stevie Nicks from this lady that's singing?
Dave's version of letting his hair down is going to be taking off this suit coat.
He's got two top buttons there. That's he can undo one of them. You still won't be showing any chest hair.
What are we? Eve, I guess, of the last day. What goes on tomorrow for the players, Luke?
Oh man, it's about to get. You know what? Like, so I was saying to Dave yesterday. Last night was the CFL Player Awards. That's the night, probably, guys. We're going to get out and about and check out what's going on around the Grey Cup festivities. You had day 3 practice today. The Riders, I believe, are in the afternoon practice, right? Yeah. So they're not even done. It's only 4:15. They're not even done practice yet. So the guys will go and get some dinner, and it's all about locking in now. You got to do. These are the times where you've really got to fight to get into your routine however you can. One of the hardest things to do coming up, and I wish I would have told a few guys this now that I think about it, but you got to make your dinner reservations, because again, athletes are a creature of habit. Tomorrow guys are used to like going out, getting a steak, getting whatever, or ordering their like, you don't want to. I remember in Edmonton it started off so bad because everybody was in town and the restaurants were packed, and we were creatures of habit, and we wanted to stay in our routine. So 5:30, we were looking for a place to go. It just so happened Jason Claremont had reserved a table that was massive, but even then we ended up being at dinner for like 4 hours. The restaurant took so long and stuff, and it just got us all discombobulated. So right now, these guys got to fight to get back into their day 3 to 4 routine, right? Because you got to lock in, and there's just certain things that you want to be checking off in the back of your mind when it comes to performing at a high level. Barney, every time I talk about knowing your numbers, if you're a 7, you got to figure out a way to get to 7. If you're a 4 out of 10 and you play your best football at being a 4, you have to figure out how to mellow out and get to a 4. Like getting to your number and being okay and feeling like you're ready to go. It's about your routine. So guys got to fight these next 2 days, Barney.
What if you're a 6'7"? Yes! I got it in.
Good night, everybody.
Somebody said, get in a 6'7" today. There it is. Okay, we got Paul LaPolice coming up in a bit. I don't know if you guys have seen him yet. It sounds like an awesome party. I don't know. Are we going to maybe see you guys in hour 3, or are you guys? I'm dead serious here, and it doesn't matter to me. Are you guys pedal down now?
No, we're good.
I can go
Just let us know
if you want. Yeah,
you tell us what you want to know.
Dude, yeah, I got at least 3 more.
Get
beers
that.
to get in 4 hours.
Let's get that Shania Twain lady on for hour 3 and find out what else she does for tunes. All right, boys.
If you're in town though, Dan Clark's hosting Riderville, and he's up at 5 o'clock. So,
but if you don't have a ticket, you're schluck trofu, as my Guido would say.
If you don't have a ticket, tell him you know Dave Thomas. You're fine.
No.
There it is.
Good.
All right. Sounds good. We'll talk to you guys in a bit. Dave and Luke live in Winnipeg at Riderville. I'm not a big Shania Twain cover song guy.
No. I didn't know that was a guy. You just let me know.
I'm just, like I said, it's like cover bands I love. They play the same old. It would be so hard. Maybe it's just because I'm immature, and I've pretty much been my whole life to get dialed in for this game. If you're a player, like if you're younger, young player,
it would be very hard. Like he said, like you're used to It's a long schedule in the CFL. They've had this routine, and you get used to game weekends. This would just set you upside down. And especially if you've never been there, if you haven't been there for a long time, like it's just...
Yep. Let's go to break. And then, like I said, when we get back, Paul LaPolice, former CFL coach of Canada's men's flag football team, will join us. It's Sportscage. We are streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
Extreme Hockey and Sport are your hockey experts. Locally owned, committed to the community and each of their customers. With their customer rewards program, Extreme Hockey Bucks, the price match guarantee, and now proud to announce their new e-commerce platform for ease of purchase and your convenience. Their expertise and commitment raise them high above the competition. Come experience the Extreme Hockey difference. 1425 McIntyre Street, conveniently located at the Cooperator Center and online at extremehockey.net.
Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
Destiny howls at Griffith Stadium as your University of Saskatchewan Huskies stand 1 win away from the Vanier Cup. But first, the Youth Sports Mitchell Bowl. The Queens Gales charge west, hungry to silence the pack. The field will shake, the crowd will thunder, and your Huskies will fight for pride, for glory, for Saskatchewan. The Mitchell Bowl, the Huskies versus the Queens Gales, tomorrow at Griffith Stadium. Kickoff at 2:15. HuskyTickets.com.
What's going on in the markets? When is the right time to invest? What should you do with your money today? When Len had questions, he talked to Brian Golly.
Brian and I sat down, spent quite a bit of time with me initially, and explained to me how he does things, how his business works, and I was pretty impressed. So ever since then, I've moved everything over, and I've been really happy with him.
You don't have to plan your financial future alone. Call Brian Golly of Smart Investing Solutions, 306-546-2533.
I would recommend him to anyone.
In an ideal world, you're already driving one. When you're behind the commands of the Fendt Ideal Combine, you experience a workhorse that takes harvest to task. Real-time monitoring, 485-bushel grain tank that unloads at 6 bushels per second, all backed by a 3-year full machine warranty, plus all scheduled maintenance ensures your harvest doesn't stop. Now that's how you grow bold. See the Ideal Fendt Combine at Nick's Service in Emerald Park. nicksservice.com.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Sportscage continues. You can watch our live stream at sportscage.com, on our YouTube channel, and always on the radio. Saskatchewan's voice for local sports. 620 CKRM.
Welcome back. DA's with me. Colson's on the board. How's this for last minute little giveaway here? Rock and roll music. We were just talking music. 3 Days Grace coming to the Brandt Center Saturday, April 25th. Special guest Finger 11 and Royal Tusk. April 25th. Do you want to go see 3 Days Grace, Finger 11, and Royal Tusk? Right now, we got 2 tickets for you. Colson's got them. 936-6262. You got to call in. Let us know your favorite Grey Cup moment. Tell Colson. Mine is Dave Ridgway, and I think followed by Tony Champion's catch with broken ribs. And then Rocket Ishmael almost getting hit with a beer in Winnipeg as he runs down the field. Wild. Crazy Winnipeg people. Western Pizza, they want you to pre-book for Sunday. Get a wheel. Any of the Greek favorites you love. Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Joining us here, last-minute addition to the show today, and we appreciate him. Paul LaPolice, former coach of our Saskatchewan Roughriders, coach in the CFL. Lapo, how's Winnipeg treating you this time around?
I can tell you what my least favorite Grey Cup memory is, guys. Right? Huh?
I was gonna get into that. I was gonna say, how often do you get sick of watching that video of you slamming down your headgear in 09?
You know, I don't watch a lot of SportsCenter, unfortunately, even though I work for TSN. So, you know, they always show those clips. Somebody always sends me a text. I saw you yesterday. They showed that clip, so I always know it's coming. So if I even am watching SportsCenter and those clips are playing, I don't get the clip number 1, right? I move the channel. Yes.
As a fan of the CFL, and you go back as long as you want, though, what Grey Cup memory stands out for you? And maybe not a game that you were involved in, but just the history of the league or the league in general. Which one stands out?
Well, so I've been in the Grey Cup 07, 09, 011, and then, a good part of TSN for a number of years, 19. I guess what I would say is I just kind of like the atmosphere of the city and people just coming across the country to celebrate Grey Cups. That's what I think is awesome. I just really, going to the awards last night, seeing fans from every team across the league, people who wanted to take pictures, how accessible it is to see some of your heroes. I think that's another outstanding thing. People always talk about this league, but it's true. And, from personally, I guess being part of the 2019 team that won the Grey Cup because, it was 29 years and I was a head coach. I was an assistant coach of the Bombers in 02 and 03. I was a head coach 10, 11, and 12, took them to the Grey Cup in 11. And, we didn't win. And then all of a sudden you get to 29 years and I was part of it. We're everyone was, 15-3, Hamilton's supposed to beat us. And for us to dominate, that was a pretty special memory.
All the Grey Cups you've been to, what one piece of advice that maybe isn't talked about that you would give a coach going into his first, any kind of coach?
No. The thing I try to do, like I've always tried to do, is, and the thing I loved about it is there's no better feeling as a competitor when you try to keep stuff as normal as possible, but there's too many commitments. Whether you have media, you're traveling for your places, your meeting rooms are different, all those things. But the thing I love the most is like sitting in, doing your game planning to get ready to call a football game, and just understand that, like, wow, there's only 2 coaches left doing this, right? There's only one defense coordinator. There's only one offensive coordinator on each side of the ball. So I love that competition about it. The advice I would give for coaches is work really hard at night so you can do stuff in the day. I can recall a time in a Grey Cup where, normally our breakfast with the quarterbacks we'd talk for 10, 15 minutes, what's going on in everybody's life. And then the last 45 minutes would be game planning before the 9:00 meeting. Well, I can remember in the 19th Grey Cup, we went to a restaurant right by our hotel when it was in Calgary, and we just sat there together, the 5 quarterbacks, and we just hung out and talked about life and everything for the whole hour. And just, we were already kind of prepared. We were already ahead of the game. Just do as much work as you can so you can enjoy the moment, if that makes sense, guys, right? Mm-hmm. Even when I was a head coach, I wanted to make sure our practice was very similar. And then in the afternoon, it's like, okay, players, you're on your own. Get with your family. Go get something to eat. Spend time, walk around, the fan experience, spend some time in the afternoon with your family. That's what I would say.
So speaking about the players, how did you handle, were you a disciplinarian? This is the rules, guys, bed check, or was it more you had to sort of give them, here's what we're here to do, and hopefully they make good decisions?
I think it's more, and maybe I don't have a great understanding of it anymore, but I believe in my experiences being in Grey Cups and everything, that most of the time the players understand the ramifications of what's at stake. So you're always talking to them. You've got plenty of time to celebrate, but the only celebration is winning, guys. So make sure you do everything in power to take care of business. So I certainly wouldn't have been doing a bed check or anything like that, but I was just imparting the knowledge of how important this week is and how important to get your sleep and get prepared and get ready to play a game.
What did the analyst in you here in this game? What's your X factor? Is it Davis Alexander and that hamstring?
Yeah, I mean, that's the low-hanging fruit. Obviously, what's the biggest story? And I was just doing some news, and the national news is a little different because, it's not like a 30-minute show where you can do a coach's playbook. And the biggest thing you're telling people who are tuning into the Grey Cup first time, Montreal has a quarterback who's gone 13-0, but he's got a hamstring, which, we won't know what's going on, or he won't know till he really has to take off and start running. Are they going to call the game differently for him? Are they going to keep him in the pocket more so he doesn't have to use his legs? But is he going to have to scramble at one point? So obviously that's a huge X factor. But the thing I find interesting, we have the top 2 defenses in the Canadian Football League facing each other. Montreal doesn't give up a lot of explosive plays. The Saskatchewan's pretty good at, all the talk about Trevor staying on the field and not doing, he's a short completion ball out of his hand quickly. Second most big plays in the Canadian Football League is the Saskatchewan Roughriders last year with 34. And obviously Dante Myers was spectacular for him. So can Trevor and company move the ball against a talented defense that's going to make you earn every yard? That's kind of what I'm thinking about for Trevor and company. The thing the Riders counter with is, I'm going to do a coach's playbook on it tomorrow, is, they do such a great job. This is a record for history of the Saskatchewan Roughriders organization for stopping the run, 76 yards per game. So Montreal is a team that doesn't really, they're not one of the best running teams in the Canadian Football League, but Stevie Scott's had some really good games the last couple of weeks. So that's going to be a challenge because the Riders are so good at what I call bench pressing guys. So they just take defenders and throw them out of the way and make tackles. We're going to show a bunch of clips of all kinds of great plays by A.J. Allen, Jameer Thurman, and Micah Johnson, just bench pressing guys off and throwing them. So how do you do that, Montreal? Can you try to run the ball to help take it off Davis? And the other thing, Tyler Snead, those guys, they run a lot of short, quick passes. The Riders are going to have to tackle well, and that's a strength of theirs. They run really well, but Montreal will get the ball out of their hand quickly, and they're going to get the ball, to Snead on all these quick, short passes. They've got to be able to tackle and create second and long situations.
Okay, we're going to get to flag football right after this one, but if you have one question, maybe you've already asked Coach Mace. What's the one question you'd ask Coach Mace about the West Final?
I did have a little bit of a conversation with him about the end of the game, and he just said, you know what? When I kind of looked at it, once we kick the field goal, there's a minute left in the game. It's like we do a simulation every week, and we kick a field goal we put ourselves in position to score a touchdown with 25 seconds left in the game. So, you trust your defense to make the stop. And then, we worked on that situation. I trusted the guys. I went down the field, made the play. So, the players have backed up his decision, obviously, on the field, but also his knowledge of what he's seen in practice from Trevor.
Okay, so we're going to be talking a lot over the next year or so about flag football with you, and I just love it. You know that. The announcement, fitting that it comes out this week, that CFL players are going to be given the chance to play for their countries. Obviously, Canada, we're going to focus on that. You must have known that was coming down for a while. How are you navigating that, I guess, out of the gate here? Or have you already started planning on how it's going to go?
We'll need way more guidance from the Canadian Football League. We'll need way more guidance from the NFL as to what's going to happen here. And really, we understand that's down the road, but more importantly, we're more concerned about the players competing for our roster right now and our roster where it is now. Because we expect to medal at the Worlds in August this year, and the top 3 teams get Olympic bids. So that's what our focus is on. Our focus is on, we're taking 18 players December 2nd to the 7th to San Diego to an Olympic training facility, and we're going to have 7 days of getting work done. And after that, that's where our focus is on. We will build stuff to start communicating to players down the road, but the biggest thing is trying to get the players we have in a position to do the best. And we have a great roster. I believe we have a top 3 roster in the world, but we just got to continue to play together and get more reps and everything. I need more reps, so we just got to keep playing together.
Speaking of that, I know a lot of the average fans, picture these NFL, CFL stars running around playing flag football. How do you prepare if you were forced to take, is there going to be training camps? To your point, you're building a program that's started, in the past already. How do you start to navigate building in players that would parachute in, or would there be a plan to try and get these professional players into some sort of camp to prepare for 2028?
Oh yes, all those things will be hit, but we are a couple of ways. We're a ways away from any of those scenarios. So, the best thing, I think the best thing and the coolest thing that we're trying to do right now is, there are some people we're trying to get to come compete for us and help us. Jackson Tuchinski, if you know, from University of Manitoba, was drafted by the Elks last season. He's going to come down to San Diego and try out. We have a couple of guys who've got some CFL experience go compete, and kind of more worried. It's kind of like in a game. You don't talk about the Grey Cup week 1, right? You talk about, we got to focus on this today, and that's kind of where we're at. We did we had a huge fundraising component opened up last week. One of our founding partners is the Canadian Football League. We have an auction going on right now. I got some jerseys for you guys. Take a look if you want to. All right, so this is a Team Canada jersey, brand new this Team Canada jersey we've got to auction. I got this today from the Winnipeg Jets, an autographed Jets. And, for the Rider fans here, there is a nice Trevor Harris signed jersey and a signed football. So if you go to any of my socials or Football Canada socials, you can bid on these auctions. Because the one thing, the players are out of pocket for some things. The Own the Podium helps us dramatically, give us a lot of funding, but there's still some things. And we want to see if we can help fundraise to do that. So you can buy Team Canada flag gear at the auction site. You can buy, there's a Josh Allen jersey, there's Connor McDavid jersey, there's all kinds of stuff. So take a look at all my socials or Football Canada socials and go from there.
Perfect. We will do that. We'll tweet it out. And then, hey, when we start doing play-by-play of the games and we can sell advertising, that goes straight to the players. So, hey, my real job's in sales, right? So, yeah, there's lots of things we can talk about, Paul. Let's be creative here.
I'm already talking to all the presidents. Hey, we bring our team out. We'll play at halftime of a Rider game. Already trying to get Craig Reynolds, get our team out there at halftime, get Wade Miller at a Bomber game, try to get all the guys out here. So,
tournament.
Okay, guys, enjoy the weekend.
Right on. See you, Paul. Paul is joining us here, former coach of our Saskatchewan Roughriders and now head coach of Canada's national flag team. You and I were talking earlier before, and rightly so. A lot of people don't really know the flag football game, and they kind of go flag football. Is this like when Eric Francis was, playing that we talked about Wednesday? It's such a wild game, and it's so different.
Well, right, and I think when this came out, and there's, I'm saying I'm guilty of it. You start picturing all of these superstars out there playing flag football at like a pickup game. This is the Olympics. It's not going to be a pickup team.
Yeah.
So,
very interesting stuff. All right, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the Mitchell Bowl, Huskies and Queens in moments. It is a Sports Cage on the home of football in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
Hey, farmers and ranchers, do you want the next generation to know and care more about agriculture? Donate to the Acres for Education campaign by Agriculture in the Classroom Saskatchewan to help get students out of the classroom to experience agriculture. This year, every dollar donated will be matched up to $25,000 thanks to JGL, so your gift will make twice the difference. Donate at aitc.sk.ca/Acres for Education.
All the farmland and equipment you could need are available at auction this fall with Ritchie Brothers. A wide variety of farmland auctions across Western Canada will begin in earnest in October and run into December to get you ready for the next season. With new parcels of land and equipment continually added to their inventory, make sure to visit their website so you never miss an opportunity. Head over to rbauction.com to get started. Again, that's rbauction.com.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Thank you, Rider Nation. The Riders Foundation 50/50 jackpots have been massive this season, and it's all thanks to you. When you buy your 50/50, you're supporting amateur football across the province. And now the Riders are back in the Grey Cup with a guaranteed payout of $250,000. But we know it'll be bigger than that. Don't get hit with regret. Buy your 50/50 tickets at riders5050.ca. And let's bring the Grey Cup to Saskatchewan.
Riders 50/50 is presented by ISC. Lottery license LR250011.
Ever seen a cow in a toque or a sweater? You probably could. They're not fans of winter either. When it's freezing out, your herd still needs water. But good luck convincing them to trek half a mile through snowdrifts for a drink. That's where Keln Solar comes in. Their solar livestock watering systems let you drop a pump just about anywhere. No grid, no trenching, no drama. So let the cows stay cozy. You move the water. Keln Solar. They move water because your cows won't. Visit kelnsolar.com.
The Sports Cage Clutch Performer for Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Call 781-1077.
Clutch Performer, if you're watching the stream, Colson's going to throw it up. Stuart Johnston arriving at the press conference today in a military vehicle. I don't know if you call that a tank, but it's pretty intense. And the way a lot of people that don't like him because of his changes, kind of fitting. Another my other Clutch Performer is Luke Mullender, already at Riderville dieseling beers. That's how it should be. Attaboy, Luke. Clutch Performers for Nick's Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. Let's go back out on the Western Pizza guest hotline here quickly, and we're joined by voice of the U of S Huskies, Pattison Media, and Husky Fans app, Wray Morrison. Ray, nice to see you again. Another exciting weekend at Griffith Stadium. It's old hat for you at this point.
It is old hat, and I'm constantly reminded that I am an old hat around that stadium, Barney. Absolutely, but it should be great. It's just such a great weekend of football, and kind of nice to see this warm front kind of move through the prairies here too at this time of year, because we've been through some November 15th and 16th and haven't been all that nice. So if we can just hang on this weekend and one more for a Vanier Cup at Mosaic, we will have it made.
And I'm sure a lot of people, I talked to Mason Nice yesterday, the team really rallying around quarterback Anton Ammonroot and his battle with lymphoma. Oh. And now there's a GoFundMe or out there as well. It's so unfortunate, but strong kid. Now everybody's rooting for him.
Oh, absolutely. He's just a terrific young guy. And full disclosure, other than at practice, I don't know him really well. Although a year and a half ago, my bride and I were down at the river taking a walk in the South Saskatchewan, and we ran into Riker Frank and Anton Amandrud. I was kind of teasing him a little bit, saying, you guys, looks like a nice romantic walk you're out on. And starting this year, Anton came over with a big grin, and he's not, he's a little bit reserved, and but he came over and made a point of it. He says, "You're going to like this." He says, "Riker and I are roommates this year." So I thought that sense of humor was fantastic. So there's not a person across the country that isn't pulling for him right now, for sure.
Queens wasn't supposed to be here. It was supposed to be Laurier. But Queens, Mason talked about it. They've been building for this. They're an experienced bunch. When you watch them, when you're kind of scouting for tomorrow, what do you see?
Well, that linebacking core is very, very physical. The Huskies have one with their Rider draft pick, Seth Hundaby, of course. But for Queens, it's Justin Pace, number 44. He's an OUA All-Star and actually didn't play in the final 3 regular season games. He was called on a targeting call, and it was a pretty vicious call. And then some subsequent situations after led to a suspension for the remainder of the regular season. But out there, they played 3 regular season games, or playoff games, pardon me, Barney, instead of 2. And he was back for all 3 of those. And then their other linebacker in the middle, DJ Ryan, what's interesting about that is he was suspended for a game as well for a targeting hit too. So it is and that's not the way you play football. You don't go out and hurt players. They know that, but I'm just saying that it is a physical group, right?
It's like they're playing hockey in the Twin Rivers. Suspensions.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that another time too. But it is a physical defense, and they were opportunistic. You know what? In the Yates Cup against Laurier, against their quarterback Cal Wither, who had the best pass efficiency in U Sports, the Laurier quarterback, it was 4 interceptions for Queens in their Yates Cup win. So. Yeah, and their situation kind of reminds me a little bit of the Riders, if you can believe it, because Montreal had to play an extra playoff game to get to a championship game, and now the Huskies face a Queens team that has had to play not 2 but 3 games to get to this bowl game here. So it's going to be an interesting matchup.
So how obviously not an odd place for the Huskies to be with all the success they've had over the years. How's the team feeling? Are they confident? Are they well prepared? Obviously, the nice weather, like you said, makes it a lot easier to get prepared. Do they appear to be buttoned down?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, of course, Scott led this team to back-to-back Vanier Cup appearances in 21 and 22. And there's a few players like Charlie Parks on defense. I was talking to him about our trip to Antigonish. It seems like so long ago now because it was 3 years ago, but there are those handful of players, those 50-year guys that have been around, right? So they know what it takes. That said, the Queens players, they have an experienced bunch too, just not Vanier Cup experience like the Huskies have, but they do have it locked in. They have a real good sense of belief. You saw that last week against Regina, down 24-9. They come back and win 25-24, right?
Yeah.
And there's just and the term, guys, that I've never heard as much of until I started hanging around the Huskies 5 years ago was connected football. So they get a big play on special teams. That leads to a touchdown last week and then come from behind win. They need a fourth quarter stand from their defense. They get that. The Rams are unable to get any more points after taking that big lead throughout the rest of the game. And then offensively, Liam Pichanen and Mason Grabowski were the touchdown pass catchers, right? It wasn't necessarily the go-to guy. We're seeing some of these highlights now, and you can see Jake Farrell, who, by the way, will make his 6th only U Sports start, if you can believe that. And he's playing in a bowl game. He has been that dialed in, undefeated at 5-0, a second-year quarterback, 6 starts under his belt, and there is just full confidence that Jake can get the job done here.
Okay, so we've got about a minute and a half here, but what time's kickoff? Yep. Is it like 2 or 2:30 or?
It is. It's gone back and forth in true U Sports style. So the kickoff is at 2:15 tomorrow. So we'll be on the air. We'll be on the air at 2:00 tomorrow on the Husky Fan app with the call, and it's a 2:15 kickoff.
And if people are thinking about going, tickets available, how many people will be there tomorrow? What is Griffith nowadays holding?
Well, it would hold probably about 5,000 fans. It is going to be a nice day. There's been lots of discussion about it. So, but Marty, you've been in the stadium when there's been 75 or 800. I think we had 9,500 out in that 5,000 seat stadium for that game against UBC, the welcome week game this week. So with the weather so nice, should be a good crowd, and a little Saskatchewan contingency would certainly help that Vanier Cup game a week and a bit from now at Mosaic as well.
Okay, give us, for sure. Give us 40 seconds on what you think's happening in the Grey Cup.
I'm really interested to see what Corey Mace dials up defensively against Alexander, and a guy that, again, has had to play an extra playoff game compared to the Riders, right? And to see if they can make him do things he either because of injury can't do or doesn't want to do. If that's the case, it could be a very good day for a well-rested Rider team that only had that bye up into the Western Final, and then their mettle was tested and they answered the call in the Western Final. So that's what I'm looking for, is a defense that could probably make a difference and set this offense up in good shape.
Were you at the game in '89 when Ridgway kicked?
No, what's funny, I'll bore you with a quick story. The first time I was at the Sky Dome, so all my contemporaries went at '89 for the Ridgway kick. My first time there, 1990, a year after when the Huskies won their first Vanier Cup over St. Mary's. So my first trip to Sky Dome was a year later.
Right on. All right. Yeah. Have a great call, Ray. We'll catch up again. Appreciate you doing this.
You betcha. Thanks, man. Take care.
Right on. See you later. Wray Morrison, voice of the Huskies. You can hear the game, Huskies fan app. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow, Griffith.
Yeah, and that's what you want. I know we fantasize this football in snowy weather. If you've practiced all year since the summer and you want the best conditions to play your best game, and I think it'll be a fantastic game up there with both teams obviously got their eye on getting to the Vanier here in Regina.
It is the Sports Cage. We're on the home of football in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. One full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
Thank you, Rider Nation. The Riders Foundation 50/50 jackpots have been massive this season, and it's all thanks to you. When you buy your 50/50, you're supporting amateur football across the province. And now the Riders are back in the Grey Cup with a guaranteed payout of $250,000. But we know it'll be bigger than that. Don't get hit with regret. Buy your 50/50 tickets at riders5050.ca. And let's bring the Grey Cup to Saskatchewan.
Riders 50/50 is presented by ISC. Lottery license LR250011.
Looking to buy equipment? Don't miss the November Saskatchewan Equipment Auction from Steffes Auctioneers, a timed online event closing November 18th with equipment located in Tisdale and Regina. You'll find farm machinery, construction equipment, recreational equipment, and more, all listed and ready for bidding. Get registered and bid from anywhere. Full details at steffesgroup.com. That's STEFFES group.com.
Fall means pumpkin spice, falling leaves, and slippery roads. When the temperature drops, so does your tire's grip. Enter Quality Tire. Don't wait for that first icy morning to find out you need new tires. Quality Tire will get you into the right set for the season, so you can stop quicker, handle better, and keep smiling all season long. Stay ahead of the frost with Quality Tire. Trusted for the road ahead, with 9 locations across Saskatchewan.
QualityTire.ca. Husqvarna wants you to remember when you were a kid, watching Switchback in the nice warm house while your parents were outside shoveling snow.
Make it quick, I'm watching Switchback.
Well, now that you're the adult and shoveling snow is still a drag, get yourself a Husqvarna snowblower from the local team at Prairie Land Rentals. This is no big box store. You deal directly with the owner who knows Husqvarna and a guy who would always answer, make it quick, I'm watching Switchback. Prairie Land Rental, 600 Albert Street, prairielandrental.com.
This fall, the eyes of Canadian university football turn to Regina. The University of Regina, City of Regina, and U Sports proudly host the 60th anniversary of the Vanier Cup, Saturday, November 22nd at Mosaic Stadium. It's the first time Regina welcomes this historic championship, showcasing the best in Canadian university football. Tickets start at just $10 for youth and students, $20 for adults, and kids under 5 are free. That's Saturday, November 22nd, Mosaic Stadium. Get your tickets now at vaniercup.com.
Getting in on more of the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
The days are shorter, it's colder out, you're heading home, and your stomach is making that sound like it's sucking up to your spine. How about a delicious Western pizza? Imagine it, a golden, crispy crust holding a mountain of melty cheese, savory pepperoni, fresh veggies, and that perfect drizzle of sauce. Every bite is warm and exactly what your cold, hungry self ordered. Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today, before your stomach starts making demands.
And get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
Country Corner, brought to you by Municipal Hail Insurance. Proudly serving farmers. MunicipalHail.ca.
Mosaic Stadium is playing host to the Vanier Cup on Saturday, November 22nd. Join U Sports, the University of Regina, and the City of Regina for this historic celebration of Canadian university football. Tickets at uregina.ca/event. Canadian Western Agribition kicks off November 24th at the Real District. Saddle up for 6 full days of action, including the Maple Leaf Circuit Finals Rodeo, Trade Show, Commercial Cattle Show, and much more. Check out the full event schedule and tickets at agribition.com. And don't miss your chance to see George Canyon and Aaron Burchett at Dance Land at Manitou Beach, a coast-to-coast cowboy Christmas matinee, Friday, December 5th, starting at 2:30. The evening show sold out fast, so get your tickets before these are all gone at danceland.ca.
For more information, visit 620ckrm.com. It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sport, Regina's locally owned one-stop hockey shop. Now with a price match guarantee. 1425 McIntyre Street.
Mike O'Shea got the free flight to Toronto and something to eat, but he said no thanks to MLSE. He's staying with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, which I think everybody thought what was going to happen. Western Hockey League tonight in town. Regina Pats host the Medicine Hat Tigers. That game is here on 620 CKRM at 6:30. Other games in the dub, Moose Jaws in Swift. Saskatoon Blades are in Calgary. The other Saskatchewan team, Prince Albert, is in Seattle. Some SJ action. Weyburn welcomes Warman. Melfort travels into Nipawin. Humboldt's at Flin Flon, and Kindersley plays host to Estevan. Prairie Junior Hockey League, Silver Foxes welcome Assiniboia, 7:45. Female U18 AAA Notre Dame is hosting the Saskatoon Stars. Sportscage.com poll today. Do you think the CFL will ever move away from 3 downs? You can vote at sportscage.com. Click that keyboard hard. It's brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sport, the local shop with the price match guarantee in Regina. Find a lower price, visit them. They're local, they support local Extreme Hockey and Sport. Hour 3 is coming up of the program. We're going to be joined by Scott Schultz, Eric Francis, and maybe the fellas from Winnipeg. It's a Sports Cage. Dante DeCaria from the Regina Pats is joining us. It's game night. It's a game weekend, Dante, at the Brandt Center. Let's start with tonight. Against Medicine Hat, 7 p.m. puck drop, and then people can get autographs after the game.
Yeah, that's right. We've got actually Autograph Alley in both of our 2 games this weekend, and that's obviously as part of, hockey weekend in Regina. I know you're excited to see your boy play at the Brandt Center. We're going to have hockey games from females to males all throughout the Saturday afternoon going into puck drop. We've got the Monarchs playing against the Pat Blues, which is the team that your son plays for, Barney. So that's an exciting game. And I think what we're trying to do is to really get the community involved, but we're also trying to give some of these young athletes a real WHL game experience, music, video board, cameras, all that type of stuff, public address announcements. I know that you guys do a great job, with the Monarchs and the Pat Blues and the Aces and stuff like that. But, to play at the Brandt Center leading up into the Pats game, I think is just going to make things even more special. We also have an alumni meet and greet as well in the first intermission night. So, you can head on down to the Brandt Center to Autograph Alley at the Kids Zone and, check out some, former Pats. We're really trying to grow our Regina Pats Alumni Association. And, we're going to have, I think, up to 10 former Pats players that are still here in the city, meeting with fans, talking to people, seeing some old people, some old friends and stuff like that. So it's a work in progress, Barney. We're still trying to grow the alumni program. We've done a lot of work over the last couple of years to get it to where it is right now. So hopefully, tonight's a success with that. And, hopefully tomorrow with all the kids being out at the Brandt Center will be a success as well.
Right on. Can you tease us with a couple of the alumni that are going to be there?
Absolutely. We've got Frank Kovacs, who is the all-time leader in games played. We've got Drew Callender as well. He's, a former Pats assistant coach, former Pats scout, played for the Regina Pats. We all know about his brother Jock. He's got his number retired by the organization. Rob Tudor is another guy who is going to be there. But, obviously we love Kim McDougall. He's he's got the big mustache. He's a big-time farmer. So, yeah, those are the guys that come off the top of my head right away. I think as this program grows, we're trying to get more and more alumni involved, but we're kind of at the early stages of it right now.
Right on. Sounds like an awesome weekend. And then, there's a lot of people getting ready for the big game Sunday, but tonight and tomorrow they can watch the Pats. And the Pats, I don't want to say hitting their stride, but they got some wins under their belt here, and they've been scoring some goals.
Yes, they have. Believe it or not, Barney, they're averaging 5 goals per game in the last 11. They've won 7 of their last 11 games. The record is 7-3-0-1 during that time. And Maddox Schultz and Liam Pugh will be in the lineup on Saturday. I know they had a tough loss to the Regina Pack. I think it was to the Blazers yesterday with the Pack Canadians. So they've got the night off tonight. They won't be in the lineup tonight, but they're expected to be in the lineup. Their first, WHL action since heading over to the U17s, where they, obviously did really well. Maddox was, 5th in tournament scoring. Pugh was right up there as well. So looking forward to seeing those 2 young players back in the lineup. Great experience for them as they'll be heading on the U.S. road trip starting next week.
Okay, Dante, have a great weekend, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Exciting weekend at the Brandt Center. Again, Pat's couple of games. Tomorrow night starts at 6 p.m. against the rival Moose Jaw Warriors. And then tonight's game, 7 p.m. versus the Medicine Hat Tigers. You can get your tickets online or walk up, get them there. Or, how about right now, 936-6262. You want to go watch the Pats and Tigers tonight? Give us a shout. Caller number 9. That's my favorite hockey number. We'll go with that. It's a Sports Cage. We're streaming through our YouTube channel, sportscage.com, and on the home of the Pats, 620 CKRM.
This is 620 CKRM Regina, the voice of Saskatchewan, a Harvard media station. Streaming everywhere at 620CKRM.com.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Corey Atkinson from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news for Echo Sound in Fort Qu'Appelle. Stay connected with the new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711. A jury has found a Saskatchewan man guilty of second-degree murder in the killing of 19-year-old Misha Pavlik, who was stabbed during a large fight at a Regina Beach campground party in 2006. The accused, whose name cannot be released because he was a youth at the time, reacted quietly as the verdict was delivered. The jury reached its decision after 3 days of talks. Pavlik's parents broke down in court as they heard the long-awaited results. We've received word of a 2-vehicle collision around 9th Avenue North and McCarthy Boulevard in the northwest part of the city. Roads are blocked off between McIntosh and Courtney Street and 7th Avenue North to Rink Avenue. We'll provide more information once it becomes available. A 39-year-old man was declared dead yesterday at the Regina Correctional Center after staff found him unresponsive in a living unit. Corrections officers began life-saving measures at around 11:04 a.m. and called EMS, but paramedics pronounced him dead at 11:25. The RCMP and Saskatchewan Coroner's Service are investigating. The Ministry of Corrections, Policing and Public Safety will also hold an internal review. Officials say next of kin have been notified and no foul play is suspected. Governor General Mary Simon has been released from the hospital. Rito Hall says the 78-year-old head of state is now recovering at home after her hospitalization for a respiratory illness. That prompted the Supreme Court's Chief Justice to substitute for her at the National Remembrance Day service in Ottawa. A team at St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto says it has achieved a world first by doing a series of brain angiograms using a robot controlled remotely by a neurosurgeon. Dr. Vitor Mendez Pereira was 6 kilometers away when he steered the robot moving a catheter through the patient's body up into the brain. He hopes to use the robotic technology to remotely treat stroke patients in northern Ontario who otherwise would have to be transported for hours to larger hospitals.
This is just the beginning, and there is a lot more to come. And I will be really happy when I see this saving lives on patients without the need for transportation.
Treating stroke patients quickly is critical because the more time passes, the greater the chance of serious disability or death. And there are heavy odors and sensory overload as more than 5,200 cheeses compete for prizes. Connoisseurs, culinary experts, and curious consumers have flocked to the 3-day World Cheese Awards in Switzerland, with some 46 countries taking part. Associate Managing Director for the Guild of Fine Foods, organizer of the World Cheese Awards, Cristobal Cairns, says the smell is important for the judging process.
The smells are coming from the fermentation, from the milk, from the maturation. So you've got lots of stuff going on, and obviously as the judges are judging, they're sniffing every single cheese individually, and so those individual characteristics will start coming out.
Adventurous tasters are trying the most gooey or moldy cheeses, looking for the most rich, creamy, or meaty varieties on hand. That was your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
Man, remember the good old days? Floppy disks, dial-up internet, and that time Stifler wrecked the prom?
Yeah, well, it's 2025 now. Time to grow up and grab a real laptop from Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
I'll set up SaskTel internet, maybe stream some Max TV, or relive the American Pie trilogy in glorious HD.
Upgrade that sad flip phone while you're at it.
Whoa!
Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Capel. EchoSound.ca.
Brought to you by Line X Regina, Serious Protection Killer Lux, 1865 McCarra Street. Croft Electric, 27 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all electrical needs. CroftElectric.com and on all socials.
Mainly clear sky for tonight and cool temperatures relative to the recent warmth, but still well above average for this time of year, holding at -5 for the low. Through the day on Saturday, a mainly sunny sky, not a whole lot of wind to speak of. It diminishes through the night. That means wind chill, only a minor factor in the morning hours, likely a little below -10. But as the wind backs off even more through the day, it's a comfortable afternoon. Saturday's high near 4. A clear sky for Saturday night, backing down to around -5 once again. And for Sunday, a mostly sunny sky with a high near 3. Weekend in pretty good shape overall, especially on Sunday as the winds become even lighter. Cloud cover begins to mix back in, though, for later Sunday night into Monday. Not much of a flurry threat, maybe a few passing through. Temperatures still above freezing on Monday, barely around 1 degree. And then a chance for some light snow, possibly a little steadier snow to the evening Tuesday night, then clearing. We'll see a high of 1 on Tuesday, close to 0, maybe just below Wednesday. With your 620 CKRM weather forecast, I'm Precision Weather Meteorologist Phil Spivak.
Dan from Croft Electric talks about why electrical work on the farm should be left to the professionals.
Focus on what you're good at. You're a good farmer, whether it's a grain farmer, it's a rancher, whatever it is, you focus on that. Let us take the electrical off your plate. Let us do it right, do it once, and we'll always be here when you need us in a pinch. And that way you have that peace of mind so you can sleep at night and not worry about electrical. Just worry about your farm. Do it right, do it once.
CroftElectric.com.
For 40 years, the team from Line X Regina has been protecting vehicles across Saskatchewan, and we're changing with the times. 3 generations of our family have protected your vehicles. Our business has evolved, and we're not stopping now. The next generation is here. Same family, same commitment, ready for the next generation of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards in all kinds of colors. Line X Regina, 1865 McCarra Street, the next generation of protective coatings.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
has been a show today. If you missed any of it, go back and check it out in podcast form. You can watch it through YouTube, our YouTube stream later on as well. But if you're still tuning in, thank you very much for doing that. I know some of you are driving to Winnipeg as we speak. You're going to get in the mixer. Good job. If you missed it earlier, tickets did drop again today. Down two uppers, down to 169 from 195. So they're holding at 169, the ones that I'm seeing. Lower bowl, 210.
Yeah, that's a good price.
250 yesterday. So they keep going down. So if you're going to the game, I'm sure you'll get a good price to get in. Hotels, depends where you want to stay. Depends how creative you want to get, I guess. DA's with me. Colson's got the board. We're going to go out on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Joining us, the old 96er. We teed it up earlier. Schultz, Scott Schultz. On the eve of the Grey Cup in 2007, I guess on the Friday, what were you guys pretty dialed? Were you low key, or were you still exploring?
I was dialed right in. I mean, there was concrete as far as the eye could see in downtown Toronto, and I was pent up in my hotel room ready for battle.
It's probably having it in Toronto compared to a Regina or a Winnipeg, where it's just going to be everything Grey Cup and party time. Having it in Toronto, probably a little easier to keep things on the level.
It is. I think so. I mean, you get a better handle of things, but you got to watch out for fratricide from your own teammates, as what happened to me on the eve of Grey Cup, if you want to hear that story.
Go ahead.
Well, so you know that McCullough was my longtime roommate for all those years. And, I took him under the wing and tried to show him the ways on how to lead your life while you're on the road. And wouldn't you believe, Grey Cup year, we had 13 coaches or players that had kids. And Laura McCullough, somehow, some way gets it into her mind that she's going to go into labor on the eve of Grey Cup. And so she does. And I'm like, McCullough, get your lady under control here. Like, what's going on? We got a game to play tomorrow. And, so there's panic. There's all things going on. I can remember even Paul Hill got into the fray and suggested that he would fly Mike home on his private jet and could get him back in time. But what we opted for was to put the telephone on the table between the two beds, and then just have me talk to Laura and walk her through pregnancy, because I had already gone through that. I had already gone through that a couple months earlier in August when my daughter Anna was born.
Okay, give us the tips. What are your tips?
Well, listen, number one is you got to get a cigar and a beer and wait in the hall.
And then that's it.
So Laura, suffice to say, Laura wasn't too excited with my quick wit and talking points all the way through that. But we made it through, and we got to the game.
Wow.
Mike was on earlier this week. He didn't talk about that memory, but he talked about getting food poisoning that week.
Yeah. And it's rough for those skinny guys, right? Like, cause he's all bone and skin, and a guy like that gets sick, he doesn't have a lot to get rid of.
Jeez, that's funny. So, switch to the game. As a defensive lineman, going up against a mobile quarterback, would that amp up your focus, in that you're not just sitting there and licking your lips thinking we're just going to get this guy on his spot, but more, okay, we got to be tactical here. We're going to try and keep him in the pocket. Are you going to try and force him out to run? The guy's got an injury. Like, what would be going through your mind game plan wise here, coming up against a mobile quarterback with maybe an injury?
Well, it would be pin your ears back, and you got to provide, from a defensive line perspective, and especially from the interior, you've got to move the pocket. You got to collapse the pocket, get him off the spot, get him moving. And if he's got any kind of an injury, they're talking about this hamstring. And man, I've had a lot of experience with hamstring injury over the years, and it's one of those things that is always nagging. It's always there. It never really fully goes away. So I would be testing that and licking my chops. And like I said, you get the carnivore eyes pointing.
Oh, you kind of cut out there right at the end. You cut out when you said carnivore eyes.
No, I said you got to get the carnivore eyes headed downfield, pin your ears back, and get after the quarterback and see where that takes you.
It worries me that these two teams, especially these defenses, are so good. This is going to be, I think we're getting down to a field goal again, which maybe it's a vindication for us finally. But I don't see a lot in this game where I know some people now, and it's maybe just the green in their hearts, are thinking Riders blowout. I can't see that, Schultz. You?
No, I don't see that at all. I see this as a knockdown, slobber knocker fight, and it's going to be whose offense can get that 20+ points, because on defense the goal is always to keep them under that threshold and give the ball back to the offense as many times as you can. And you got two great defenses that are going to be doing that. And so it's really going to, you would hope that the defenses kind of negate each other, and then it's going to come down to who can make a big play, who can get a conversion when we need it.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just the weirdness in me, and I feel that we could see maybe Mark Mueller's whatever the trick play that he's been holding close to his chest vest region.
Oh, he's a card player, that one. He holds him close to the chest. He's not talking about it. But these are the games where that kind of stuff, I mean, you don't want to rely on it, but you got to have something. You got to have that plan B, C, D, E, F, all the way down to Z, because you pull out all the stops because it's the Grey Cup. I mean, and as you know, there's only been 4 in our history. That coveted 5th place it needs to come home.
So weather-wise, obviously looking decent for the time of year. Still going to be chilly. Like you said, with defenses this good, does that play to their advantage in that you're forcing these teams to work really hard? I'm not expecting this to be an explosive big play game. All it takes is a drop, a little fumble of the exchange on a handoff. I think it's going to be a really low-scoring game, and who can sustain drives? Is that what you're looking at too? And as a defender, is that make you even more excited to be out there?
With the weather conditions, and me, like as a heavy guy for offensive line, defensive lineman types, you're going to be able to use that to your advantage. I mean, of course it's cold, but I would much rather play in cold than oppressive heat with 90% humidity, and so that's going to be an advantage for the big guys. And it's going to be a knockdown grinder, low scoring deal. And like I said, it's going to be up to those offenses and special teams on who can bust a play and make something happen. And otherwise, I think it's going to be, pretty, I wouldn't say vanilla, but you're going to see a grinding physical game.
Is there too much being made? And we hear a lot of it when Super Bowl comes around, how the game is different. The pre-ceremony and everything, there's more to it there. The halftime shows longer. Do they make too much about that, Schultz, as a player?
Yeah, they do it. What you're talking about is the pomp and circumstance. I mean, don't get lost in the moment. That can happen if you're mentally weak. But I mean, most of these guys, I mean, you've been slugging it out for 18 weeks, the culmination through the playoffs to this point. At this point, it's just an annoyance. It's like, get it the hell out of the way. Let's put the mouth guards in and get going. So I don't think too many guys that bothers. A little bit from timing. You might get a little, I mean, your warm up from when you're loose to when you might lose some of that, lose some of the froth. I mean, you got to maybe work that out a little bit. But other than that, I think, it's just it's an annoyance at the best.
So interesting. I think today the CFLPA All-Star team came out. And so question for you has been part of that process. Obviously, we have 2 really strong defenses in this game, as we've been talking about. I think one player on defense, Roland Milligan from the 2 teams, made that CFLPA All-Star team. Is that a surprise to you? Is there politics in that? Do guys get kind of, I'm not voting for this guy because he poked me in the eye in a game?
I mean, sadly, there is. I mean, ultimately, when it comes down, I mean, it's people's opinions, right? And everyone wants to be recognized, but for the most part, you take those awards as they come. By no means are they, the pillar of your career. It's a great to be recognized, but ultimately, the ultimate recognition is having that ring on your finger, and that's what these guys are thinking about.
Prediction.
Well, I'm thinking it's going to be. Oh God. I'm going.
Hopefully.
15-9 Roughriders.
Okay, wow. Second half. I'm going to say 15-9. I was like, is it going to be minus 40 with a 30K win? I think I sold a 15-9 Grey Cup ticket for my son's hockey. So somebody would get lucky with that.
Who bought it? This guy.
Schultz. All right, Matt, it's going to be a lot of fun. Do you have a big Lakeview Insurance Grey Cup party planned or what?
Yeah, big Lakeview. Actually, my partners in Winnipeg have a box for the game, so they're going to be up there in that. I actually was invited to go, but happily, we've got so much family activity going on with our kids' sports. My daughter plays home and home tonight for the U of R volleyball, so we'll be taking that in. But real excited to watch the big game on the TV at home and filling my face in front of it for sure.
Right on. Let's catch up at Agribition in a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. The stories will be abundant.
Right on. Okay, there he is, legendary Rough Rider, Scott Schultz, joining us again here on the Sports Cage. Always fun. Okay, we got a break because the boys in Winnipeg are standing by. Do we want to put 100 each? What song that they're playing in the background with the band? What's a good cover song to be playing?
Well, Sweet Caroline. You think they're pulling that out this early? It all depends on the
if it's the end of the set.
I know. Okay, I liked your Stevie Nicks call if it's still that same woman-led
Edge of 17. All right, we'll find out when we get back. It's a Sports Cage.
The 112th Grey Cup plays here. Don't miss a moment of the action when your Saskatchewan Roughriders take on the Montreal Alouettes in Winnipeg on Sunday. We'll have all of the action from the game where memories are made on the Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network, 620 CKRM. The countdown to kickoff begins at 2. Kickoff is at 5. The 112th Grey Cup is brought to you by Salford Equipment, Western Ag Professional Agronomy, and the Saskatchewan NDP Caucus. Stream every moment of Rider football at sportscage.com. Thank you, Rider Nation. The Riders Foundation 50-50 jackpots have been massive this season, and it's all thanks to you. When you buy your 50-50, you're supporting amateur football across the province. And now the Riders are back in the Grey Cup with a guaranteed payout of $250,000. But we know it'll be bigger than that. Don't get hit with regret. Buy your 50-50 tickets at riders5050.ca. And let's bring the Grey Cup to Saskatchewan.
Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC. Lottery license LR250011. When it comes to your financial future, do you know where you're headed or what happens when you retire? That's where Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, and the team at GP Financial Services and Oviso Wealth come in. They offer independent, local advice, smart client-focused planning for every stage of life. Visit gpfinancial.ca. Your family, your plan. With Chad Reach, 306-584-2755.
Mutual funds and other securities are offered through Oviso Wealth, a division of Oviso Financial Inc.
It's the absolute final deadline to get in on the Hospitals of Regina Foundation Home Lottery tonight. Your last chance to get in to win the $1.7 million grand prize show home plus $50,000 in cash. Dino, tell us about the home.
Oh, absolutely. The most valuable show home we've done in the history of the lottery. It comes with $50,000 in cash. It's over 4,400 square feet of finished space, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, a wine room, and a fully equipped home theater with 2-level seating and a huge projection screen.
So how do the lottery proceeds support our local health care?
Well, everything we raise through the lottery and all the other programs of the foundation, of course, goes to support programs in our hospitals and healthcare facilities here in Regina in support of both Regina and Southern Saskatchewan. In 2025, we've committed $6 million to our hospitals, including for pediatrics, for our children, our surgical programs, cardiac unit, a lot of other programs in our hospitals. Every single dollar we raise goes to that, and I'm very, very grateful to our community for their support.
Where can we get tickets?
Very easy. Just go to hrfhomelottery.com. You can do that online or give us a call at 1-800-667-7760.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. Combined with a LiftMaster opener, it's the right choice. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. And a LiftMaster opener. 100% made by Canadians for Canadians. Steady, tariff-free pricing and great quality, no matter what.
Steelcraft Door, Steelcraft Door, Steelcraft Door. We offer more.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
If it's happening in sports in Saskatchewan, we've got it covered on Sportscage. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. On your radio at 620 CKRM and online at sportscage.com.
DA's with me. It's for Nelson Homes on this Friday. We get ready for the Grey Cup. Colson's over there punching buttons, getting things on the air. Now, most popular cover band songs, you were right with Sweet Caroline is in there in the classic. Don't Stop Believing is one. Mr. Brightside, Living on a Prayer. Sweet Child of Mine. Brown Eyed Girl.
Brown Eyed Girl. Come On Eileen's not on there?
No, Come On Eileen.
Wow.
Let's go out. Western Pizza Guest Hotline back to Riderville. And the guy, see what's playing in the background.
No fun at all.
Oh, you just got us in between songs,
yeah,
Barney.
you just
yeah, they're taking.
Sorry, we're talking with the people.
Yeah, actually, I was talking with the Rider Pep Band. They just did a version out in the hallway there. Yeah, so it was awesome.
Of what song?
I'm Still Standing.
The same song they always do.
I'm Still Standing. No, it's a new one.
Oh, they don't have a
I'm
new
Still
song.
Standing.
There's no way they have a new song. That'd be the first new song in like 30 years.
No, they were. It was good.
Okay, Luke, I owe you $50 because we had that bet on over under 545 when Dave would take his suit jacket off. So I apparently lost that bet. And then Darren and I have one. We figure that you're on number 5. Over under.
Actually, hold on. Oh no, I'm over 5.
Right on that, baby. Love it. All right, let's keep the gambling theme going, boys. It's Sprinkle of the Day for Sports Select, and we're going to bring you guys in this because I know Sports Select, great sponsor here. You can generate a QR code online now with a single bet. Take it to your local Lotto Spot retailer, scan it, and there you got your ticket. All right, we're looking at the Grey Cup. Here we go. Now, I love the fact, as you guys both know, when it comes to Sports Select and you play the pro line, if you think it's going to be a 3-point game, you take Tommy Ty. 370. There it pays. When you guys look at this board here, you got the point spread, minus 3.5 Riders, and then the over-under at 48.5. Dave, first to you. Where do you go?
Honestly, I'm thinking it's going to be a defensive battle on Sunday, but I could see it going over. And then the 3.5, I think, is bang on, but I'd actually take the Riders to cover that.
Okay, Mr. Mullender. Mr. Mullender.
I'm taking under the 48. I'm taking under the 48.5, and I'm taking the Riders by a field goal, so Montreal plus 3.5.
Okay, should I contact you tomorrow morning when you're thinking more clear?
Oh, man, I'm thinking clear now. Shoot.
DA, what do you like?
Hey, boys.
I'm the same as Luke. I think it's going to be under 48. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and within that 3 points, 2 points kind of a deal.
See, I'm leaning heavy to the over, so maybe I'm the space cadet here. I don't know.
I was trying to tell everybody last week that the BC Lions were going to make it close, and everybody thought I was crazy then too. You know, these are two really good defenses, especially Montreal. I'm telling you guys, Montreal's defense is built to stop the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They're able to get pressure through the middle, get Trevor Harris off his spot. They're not built from the edges. So when you have when you only have edge rushers, you're just able to step up into the pocket and keep the same launch point. I think that, especially with Noel Thorpe, I think this game's going to be really close. I think that it's going to be one of those things where momentum means everything, so you can't commit a turnover, especially early. And, again, I think it's going to be a low score. I mean, I'm really pumped about this game. I have a feeling this game's going to, reveal – you know how we always talk about, the best parts of the Canadian Football League? I think this is one of those games where we end up celebrating Saskatchewan, but we also say, man, that is what makes the CFL so great.
So you're calling the Rouge. Perfect.
Yeah.
No, I'm not calling it stupid Rouge.
Hey, keep it Canadian. We gotta give it up. Dave, people are sending, I've got a couple text messages here. We got some erroneous information on injuries, and the Riders haven't released anything today that I've seen. Can you update anything on the injury front, game status?
So basically what I can tell you, it was a closed practice today, so we do have to await the official word as to who was and who wasn't. I did talk with Keyshawn Johnson earlier this week. He did run around on day number 1. He didn't participate as he was held out as kind of a precaution, right, just to make sure and see where he was at on day 2. And then today was going to be the test for where he was at. Joe Robustelli, he had to go through concussion protocol. That's why he missed day number 1. He was back on the field full form yesterday, and I would anticipate the same. Shane Ray has not put pads on, has not put on a jersey for, 5 weeks now, and I would doubt that he'll be anywhere near being able to play with his neck injury.
So in that regard, obviously dinged up at the receiver spot, and we're getting some guys back, which is great. I thought it was an interesting roster move last week when we chose to go with Alford over Bain Jr. as the kick returner, given that Bain could have filled in that spot when Robustelli went down. Is there that, and I understand Alfred's spot on the team and his, how good he is, but for me, I'm going, we don't need to win on special teams, but if we get an injury with one of these guys who's tweaked, I would think we'd want more American receivers on the roster.
Just quick on my part for that, and I'll go to you, Luke, because you're the expert. But when it comes to Mario Alford, he's got about a 4-yard advantage when it comes to the punt return average that he's got over top of Sean Bain Jr. And then on the kickoff return, that's where he's much more special. His average is, I believe, about 9.8 yards or so better than what Sean Bain Jr. was with the couple of games that he filled in. Mario can take a receiver spot, but I think you're so happy with the Canadians you have that there is no drop-off there by starting or putting in a Canadian, whether it's Del Duncan Busby or perhaps this week even a Joe who got a lot of reps back on day 2.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that without Keyshawn Johnson, your offense is still going to run through number 45, right? So that's going to set everything up. When Robustelli went down, again, it's not like we just turned on becoming a field-stretching team. The reason why we've seen big plays in the past for the Saskatchewan Roughriders offense, when you've really gone downfield, it's because of the fact that guys had their eyes in the backfield on 45, right? It gives our receivers a head start. So, again, I'm not sure. And, again, some injuries, guys, especially for the wide receivers, some of those injuries, man, you come back and you just don't have the same type of burst, right? Every receiver, especially in this league, has an advantage, right? And some of those guys, especially the smaller guys, they got to rely on their ability to cut. They got to rely on their top-end speed. They got to rely on their football IQ. And I'm glad that Mario Alford's been starting. Here's the reason why. Ball security is everything in big games. And I want ball security above anything. I could care less if Sean Bain gets 7 more yards per punt return than Mario Alford. I know that Mario Alford's going to secure the football. And the other piece is, especially when we look at this game where points are going to be at a premium, I would take Mario Alford and a missed field goal over 7 returners in this league. 7 of them. So I think that with Mario Alford, it's consistency, and it's the understanding that you know what you're going to get, right? I don't think it's fair to put Sean Bain in that situation, to be honest, if we don't have to.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I think if you're strictly looking at it from a return standpoint, it's a no-brainer. It's just interesting in the roster movement, right? When you've got receivers dinged up, and you've got this decision to make, like, holy cow, we could put another receiver on the roster just in case you have multiple injuries there. But it's not easy to be in Mace's shoes.
If there's another receiver that comes on the roster, I want it to be Mitch Picton before anybody.
Yeah.
Nice. So, obviously we have Moni Moni playing in the background. I'm glad there's not a lot of people there filling in the dead space while we're on the radio here. But, you said Robistelli is out of concussion protocol. Does that mean he's good to go? Is that sort of where we're leaning here? Like, I know a lot of Rider fans, me included, are really itching to know when that depth chart comes out, who's going to be on there. What are you guys leaning towards on the receiver end?
Okay, so when the depth chart comes out, and again, the injury report just came out, and I'm kind of scrolling down to make sure and see what we have, and I'll give you the live update as I get it right here in front of me. But Joe is fully practiced, and he can bring in an element when it comes to the blocking and running game, which could be very, very important when you're considering what the Riders want to do.
Yeah.
So you're definitely bringing in Sam Emelis. You know you're going to have Kean Schaefer-Baker. You know you're going to have Dante Myers. You know you're likely going to go ahead with Joe Robistelli. And then Joe and Del
Busby. Is he out of concussion protocol?
Yeah, he's done. He cleared that, so that's good news.
Well, if he cleared concussion protocol, you go with Robistelli, and then you just back it up with your Canadian wide receiver corps.
And Keyshawn Johnson has just been officially ruled out.
Okay.
So, I would have been shocked if Keyshawn played.
Yeah. So that's probably that's what I would guess that you're looking at right now.
Yeah, no, and that's great news, I think, for Rider fans. I think, to your point, we have a strong stable of guys there. It just always gets worrisome when you got multiple guys coming into the playoffs on that injured reserve list.
Yeah. I would question, though, too, and again, it's good that Joe Robistelli's out there, but I don't look at him as a game breaker in terms of speed. I think, again, I have tons of respect for this Montreal Alouettes secondary. I think every one of those guys has a tremendous ability to make plays on the ball, but more importantly, they can cover in man, and they're quick, man. They are a quick group. And I think that when you look at our receiving core, I don't think that it's going to be about the 50-50 balls this game. If it becomes that, that's great. But again, you got to understand this secondary for the Montreal Alouettes. They're a bunch of gamers.
Joe Robistelli has also been ruled out.
Yeah,
it's just been confirmed he did not practice either.
So Robistelli out. So Emelis out.
No, Emelis in.
Emelis in.
Yeah.
Joe in. It's Johnson that's out.
Yeah, and Robistelli.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go. We're up to date.
Is that clear
boys.
as mud or what?
No, it is. It is. Okay, good job, Moni Moni.
News.
Oh, Moni Moni's got to be followed by another classic hit coming up. You guys go have fun. Appreciate it. Take it all in, and we'll catch up next week.
Moni, hey, nice guy. Get paid, go shopping. And you bet we will.
Go Riders, man. Let's go.
Go Riders. Have fun, gentlemen.
All right. Davey and Luke live from Riderville. Some deadly cover band in the back, just letting it fly with all the classics. I love it. Yeah, so no Keyshawn and no Joe Robistelli. Yeah,
so does that mean Bain's on the roster? It's going to be interesting to see that. I'm I think a bigger fan of Robistelli than Luke was saying, but Bain can also stretch the field. I don't think it's going to come down to
and he hasn't played much this year.
50-50 balls, but I think you need someone to stretch the field. I love our Canadian guys, but we don't have
they play man.
burners.
If they play man, you want to stretch it out.
Right.
You want guys to do that. So there we go. Update. Western Pizza Guest Hotline. That'll be the last hit from those guys. When we come back, though, you never know where this is going to go. NHL Insider, we're probably going to talk some football. If you missed it on Wednesday, his Grey Cup stories are absolutely classic. We're coming back with Eric Francis here on the Sports Cage.
All the farmland and equipment you could need are available at auction this fall with Ritchie Brothers. A wide variety of farmland auctions across Western Canada will begin in earnest in October and run into December to get you ready for the next season. With new parcels of land and equipment continually added to their inventory, make sure to visit their website so you never miss an opportunity. Head over to rbauction.com to get started. Again, that's rbauction.com.
This fall, the eyes of Canadian university football turn to Regina. The University of Regina, City of Regina, and U Sports proudly host the 60th anniversary of the Vanier Cup, Saturday, November 22nd at Mosaic Stadium. It's the first time Regina welcomes this historic championship, showcasing the best in Canadian university football. Tickets start at just $10 for youth and students, $20 for adults, and kids under 5 are free. That's Saturday, November 22nd, Mosaic Stadium. Get your tickets now at vaniercup.com.
So, since that little ding on my car last week, I don't know where to take it.
I don't even know. That's easy. Take it to Regina Motor Products.
Who said that?
I did. Down here. I'm Terry the Tire. Regina Motor Products Chevrolet Collision Center and SGI accredited auto body repair is a full-service collision and body shop that works on all makes and models. Just submit your claim to SGI and set an appointment to get your appraisal done. Easy.
I bet you're tired after saying all that.
South at Highway 1 and 6, Albert Street. RMPChevrolet.com.
If your garage door is running a little rough, you don't need to be talked into something that you don't need.
Sir, what you need is the new gigantic-esque, voluminous, astronomical, ginormous, gargantuan, exquisite air garage.
Just call Busy Bee Doors, the local experts who have been in business for many, many doors. They can fix or replace any commercial or garage door.
Wait. With me, you get a little garage door keychain, please.
Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists.
Back to our regular spot, Pump Jacks Cathedral.
You know, I thought Pump Jacks was a kind of boot polish till last month.
What are you getting?
Kerwin's crispy ribs and a cold pint of local craft. Crispy, meaty, beautiful.
You had me a meaty.
Plus, we got live music on the weekends, big screens. This place is basically my second marriage.
And way cheaper than the first.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jacks Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
Canada's Conservatives have put forward a bill that will unlock our nation's true potential by rewarding those who build and invest in Canada. The Canadian Sovereignty Act introduces measures such as the Canada First Reinvestment Tax Cut to eliminate capital gains tax on reinvestments in Canada, ensuring that money stays here and builds our great economy. My name is Warren Steinley, your Conservative Member of Parliament for Regina Luban, and I will always be on Saskatchewan's side.
Paid ad by Warren Steinley.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262 for Prairie Land Rentals. Renting heaters, skid steers, and most power tools for all those winter jobs. And your official Husqvarna snow thrower dealer. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street, where you deal with the owner. It's time for the Sports Ticker. Brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina. Made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
All right, if you didn't hear our conversation with Luke and Dave, Keyshawn Johnson ruled out and Joe Robustelli ruled out for the game on Sunday. Interesting. Western Hockey League tonight in town. Pats host the Medicine Hat Tigers, 6:30 here on 620 CKRM if you want to go watch it with your eyeball, 7 p.m. puck drop. National Hockey League tonight, the only Canadian team. Vancouver is in Carolina. Some SJ, Warman's in Weyburn. Nipawin plays host to Melfort. Humboldt's in Flin Flon. And Estevan is in Kindersley. Saskatchewan Female U18 League. The Stars are in Notre Dame, 7:30. It's for Regina Steelcraft Doors, made in Western Canada. For Western Canada, visit their 40,000 square foot facility in Regina. All right, back out in the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. It is time for Eric Francis.
Now for Inside the NHL with Eric Francis on the Sportscage. Inside the NHL is brought to you by Sports Select. Getting in on more of the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer.
There it is, folks. You're looking at the 1995 Media CFL game in Regina All-Star with 5 touchdowns, Eric Francis.
I don't want to be like braggadocious, but it was MVP.
Sorry.
Not All-Star. It was just MVP. There was just one, and I got it, and I kept the ball, and I carried that ball for the better part of the weekend. And, you know, it reminds me of, I've told you this story before when I kicked that 48-yard field goal and I won $50,000. I told you I kicked it on behalf of a fan, right? And he missed, so then I kicked on his behalf. I gave him $25 grand. $25 grand, tax-free money. Here you go. He started a family with it. Like, that's pretty cool. The other 25 we gave to charity and got a tax receipt. I bought the hot tub. I've told you that story. Blah, blah, blah. But what I didn't tell you about is when I kicked that field goal, I got to admit, that was a thrill. Like, to do that in front of 35,000 people. This is when the Stamps used to sell out and it mattered in Calgary. And I clutched that ball. Like, you couldn't have taken that ball out of my hands. No one in football history would have been able to. Mike Singletary wouldn't have been able to knock this ball out of my hands back in the day. And I went immediately to the bar with my buddies, and we had a great old time. About a quarter and a half later, the dude who I gave the $25,000 to comes up to me. He's like, "Oh my God, I've been looking all over for you, man." He goes, "You said something about a free T-shirt, and I just didn't know where I was supposed to pick that up." I lost it. I just gave this guy 25 grand. You're interrupting my drink on so that you get your stupid free T-shirt. And I think I said something to him to the effect of, "Why don't you go buy a T-shirt factory with the money I just gave you?" And I walked away. I was so mad.
What kind of tarp was it? That it was so special.
It was it was going to be like a Stampeders T-shirt. Like, that was part of the giveaway because no one expected anyone to kick the field goal, so they wanted everyone to go home with something. And dude was clinging to as we've said a million times. I married a gal who used to run marketing departments, and it was always never underestimate the power of a free T-shirt. Sickening.
But you got the ball from your 5 touchdown performance, your MVP performance. We did have actually a text, Olga, who's now at the Tiger Lily Senior Home in Moosomin, Saskatchewan. She was the one that covered you that day, and she remembers it vividly.
Tell her I apologize. And I hope they got the cleat marks out of her neck. But I had to make the grab. I had to make it.
Okay, when you think of Grey Cup, like classic memories, maybe it was as a kid, as covering it and all that, which one comes to mind? Like that one Grey Cup memory?
You know oh God. Again, I'm so old and I shouldn't talk like this, but I remember driving back from a hockey tournament in Detroit. I grew up in the Toronto area, and we were coming back from Detroit, and I had a rich friend who had a TV that, like, you could watch in your car. You know what I mean? It was about the size of our phones nowadays, but it was like a big deal, and it would go in and out. Like, we'd go 2 or 3 minutes with nothing, then we'd get a glimpse. Anyway, I feel like that was the year John Candy and those boys won it with the Argos. And I watched that in a little vehicle, and I'll just never forget. That's it. Like, it was such an important sporting event back then. And I'm not saying it isn't now. It still is. I still think it captures the imagination of our nation. But that's one of my earliest ones. And, you know, I covered one in Hamilton where it snowed the whole game.
Yeah. Who played the halftime show? Who was your favorite halftime show? Having a
Shania Twain. Shania Twain in Ottawa. Because we hadn't seen her. Remember, she disappeared for like 10 or 15 years.
Switzerland.
She shows up. Yeah, she went to Switzerland. She got a divorce. She lost her voice. She came back. All through it all, she's still hot. She comes out in a sled, and it's snowing like crazy in Ottawa, which they weren't expecting. It was fantastic. Yeah, That's the other one. The other one that was my favorite is the time when some Canadian band, I don't even know who they are, they showed up. We always used to joke that, the halftime show at the Super Bowl is like this $50 billion production. And in Calgary, they grab a milk crate and some old Canadian band stands on their individual milk crates, and that's the halftime show. It's not quite as elaborate, but God damn it, it's ours. I love it.
I remember that's one of my memories, Grey Cup memories, is Rocket Ishmael running the kick in the freezing cold, and that guy almost hitting him with a beer can. He throws it.
Yes!
Here it is right here if you're watching the stream. Like this guy was really good. This is so right. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. And right about now, here it comes. Oof.
Just missed him.
Oh, we're crazy up here. Yeah, John Candy, Bruce McNall. Man, that guy was a shyster. I love it. Okay, so I got to ask a couple of hockey questions before I let you go. I'm not sure.
Talk Grey Cup.
Why are they doing that? I love Stockholm, man. I think that's the nicest city I've ever been to. But why are they playing hockey in Sweden and Stockholm today? This whole European series or whatever it's called.
I'm with you. Like I don't think anybody here could possibly care less about it. It's just they shoehorn it in the middle of the season. No one knows why. I actually cover the league for a living. I couldn't even tell you who's playing in this game. Is it today, tomorrow? I have no idea. Is it in the middle of the night? Is it morning?
Penguins. Predators beat the Penguins 2-1.
Oh, it's already happened. Oh my God. See, come on, guys.
You were too busy looking for that ball today to watch hockey.
Oh my God! Thank God I found it. Yeah, thank God I found it. And by the way, if you see Eunice again or whatever her name was from the old age home,
Olga,
tell her they going to zone defense was a terrible idea. They needed to double up on me because I was feeling it that day.
I was going to say, no one could cover you. What else are they going to do? But yeah, I guess double, triple team.
Yeah, and at the end, it just didn't. And right up until the concussion, I was feeling like on top of the world. I probably could have got more if.
And it's not your fault they wore skirts and dresses. You never like what? I brought sweatpants, runners, gloves. Be prepared.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just playing the hand they dealt me. But yeah, the outdoor game, it's not even an outdoor game. The game in Stockholm, I love that they're going over there, and but I think they should do that at the beginning of the year, like they do. They still do that, I know, but do it then. It's actually a unique way to kick off the season. People are actually interested because you get to see a game at an odd time of the day. It's usually the early game of the year. I'm okay with all that, but doing it in the middle of the season, how do you think Pittsburgh and Nashville feel about it? I'm with you, Barney. That's a great town, but come on, that's not what you want to do in the middle of the season.
Okay, and we get back to hockey next week, and we'll talk a lot. But before I let you go, if you're going to place a bet, you're going to place a Sports Select wager. Montreal, Saskatchewan. Montreal -3, or Saskatchewan's -3.5 point favorite. The over/under's 48.5. Weather's supposed to be good in Winnipeg.
This is based on a guy who doesn't watch a whole lot of CFL anymore, and I apologize for that. But Montreal has always, they have this long history of just coming out of nowhere and winning the goddamn Grey Cup all the time. I think I covered 3 or 4. One of those Anthony Calvillo days, they just win it all the time. And even on years when they weren't that good, they would still find a way to win it. So,
okay.
So you know what? I'll take.
Just stop talking. Just stop. Yeah. All right. Okay. Have fun. Did your wife know you found the ball?
Yeah, because I asked everyone in the house 3 times, have you seen my ball? Have you seen my ball? And they're all just like, God, you're so pathetic. I thought you grew up past that moment. But
no. She went, let me guess, you're talking to Barney.
Yeah. And then she said, really? You're talking about your stupid kick again? I said, no, it's not the kick, it's the catch. She goes, what's the catch? I go, oh, you're in for a dandy later. I'm going to tell you the story.
And the Blockbuster card is still over your right shoulder. Look at that.
Yeah, there it is.
So good. Okay. next week, buddy.
Discount.
We'll talk
Hey,
hockey
boys,
next
sorry
week.
I couldn't add much to the Grey Cup coverage. Sorry about that.
See you later. I'll tell Augie you said hi. NHL insider Eric Francis is for Sports Select. Every bet's 100% legal. Chance of winning cash in hand. When you're ready to bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. You can make your picks online now and just scan that QR code at the Lotto Spot retailer. I know you do that on Sundays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just the
Of course,
old...
got to get those picks in. It just makes them more exciting.
I know. Okay, so we are going to be joined, Dave Thomas and Tavon Campbell, a piece after the break. That's it for you. Thanks for coming in again.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Colson, great job today. Yeah, when we get back, it's Dave Thomas and Tavon Campbell here on the Sports Cage.
620 CKRM is your home to country's greatest hits and the 90s at 9. 1 full hour featuring the biggest hits of the 90s. Garth, Reba, Alan, Shania, George, and so much more. No cassette tape or CDs required, and 90s mullets are optional. 90s at 9 for the town of Wolseley and the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM.
This fall, the eyes of Canadian university football turn to Regina. The University of Regina, City of Regina, and U Sports proudly host the 60th anniversary of the Vanier Cup, Saturday, November 22nd at Mosaic Stadium. It's the first time Regina welcomes this historic championship, showcasing the best in Canadian university football. Tickets start at just $10 for youth and students, $20 for adults, and kids under 5 are free. That's Saturday, November 22nd, Mosaic Stadium. Get your tickets now at vaniercup.com.
Boarding for Flight 246 to Edmonton is delayed 50 minutes.
What?
Sounds like Ojo time.
Play Ojo? Great idea.
Feel the fun with all your favorite games like Wolf Gold and Joker's Jewels, plus exclusive ones you won't find anywhere else. Groovy.
Hey, I won!
Feel the fun. Play Ojo.
Boarding will begin when passenger Fisher is done celebrating.
Yes!
Open to all players 18 and older. This is not a gambling site. Please play responsibly.
With industry-leading quad-track technology, experience the efficient power to pull any implement. Plus, get subscription-free Case IH tech that unlocks greater productivity, accuracy, and precision. Steger tractors don't just pull, they perform with power you can trust and technology that works for you. Stop by Redhead Equipment, your local Case IH dealer, to learn more about how Steger tractors can take your productivity to the next level. Redhead Equipment, making tracks since 1948.
Get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
Been a long day, your feet hurt, your brain is fried, and now supper? You're staring into the fridge, contemplating your options, but your energy says, let's just not. Now imagine golden, crispy pizza loaded with all the Greek favorites. Feta, olives, tangy tomato sauce, fresh veggies, and melted mozzarella. Every bite is like a Mediterranean vacation for your taste buds, and you didn't lift a finger. Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today.
Get it hot, get it fast, Western Pizza.
You've been waiting! Black Friday savings are on now at the Wireless Age, your SaskTel authorized dealer. Save on your favorite devices with the lowest prices of the year. Save on SaskTel wireless plans with special offers for new and upgrading customers and bonus data. And save on accessories and device protection plans. On for a limited time. Act fast. Shop in store or free Sask-wide shipping. Get the device you've been waiting for. See thewirelessage.com for details. Your SaskTel authorized dealer.
Be the reason Saskatchewan children have hope for a brighter future when you donate to Jim Pattison Children's Hospital Foundation. Support the Making Spirits Bright catalog at pattisonchildrens.ca.
Donate to the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital to help kids like me.
Your donation will be doubled up to $75,000 thanks to a match by Thrive Wealth Management. Make a difference today by donating to Jim Pattison Children's Hospital Foundation at pattisonchildrens.ca.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality.
In the Saskatoon area, call Kurt at Canadian Timber Homes.
Or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Don't miss a minute of Sportscage. Podcasts are posted at sportscage.com. 620 CKRM.
Tavon Campbell,
Grey Cup week is on. Is it what you anticipated it would be from that send-off in Regina to landing in Winnipeg and now getting set for practice?
Yeah, just busy week, meetings, practice, media. You're always just got to do something. You're always on the move. So yeah, I think it's kind of what you expect.
Can it be overwhelming, I guess, is the question, because there's been a microphone in front of your face more than there's been a football in your hand this week.
I think it can be if you let it, but I think you just got to stay focused on the goal at hand. You can't let this, all the media and all the distractions get to you. You just got to stay focused on what you're trying to achieve.
Can you take a moment, though, to enjoy the atmosphere and what's happening around it?
Absolutely. I think I'd be lying if I said, you're not stopping for a second and being like, man, I'm finally here having this opportunity to go and win this. But yeah, no one here is just ignoring everything that's going on and just saying, oh, it's all business. You see everything. You see the media. You see the Grey Cup. You see all that kind of stuff.
We saw Jamarcus Hardrick walking around the facility taking pictures of all of his teammates, just soaking up the moments. I don't know if that's just a Jamarcus thing, if he's a scrapbooker, or is he just really enjoying this opportunity?
I think he's one of those vets that, have been to so many Grey Cups and won so many Grey Cups that he enjoys seeing us enjoy the moments. And he was even walking around the locker room like, all right, now we're here, welcome, but we still got a job to do.
So that job is the Montreal Alouettes coming up on the weekend. First, let's talk about what you're going to encounter in a facility that is a road facility, no matter how you want to draw it up. However, there could be a pretty big influx of green and white. What's it going to mean running out onto that field for the 112th Grey Cup?
I think there might be a little hostility, of course. We're in Winnipeg. But I think our fans do travel well, so it'll be great. It'll be great to run out there, hear the cheers, hear the boos, hear the roars of the crowd. Doesn't matter what it is. Go out there and compete for 60 minutes.
Competing against a team that had your number the last time that they played for you, putting up a ton of yardage against a secondary that was pretty beat up. You're back together again, if you will. It's kind of like the band being back together. What's advantage does that pose for you?
I think it's kind of a clean slate. I think all the stuff that happened in the past, regardless of we played them and beat them or they played us and beat us, that kind of stuff is washed. This is a new season, so to speak. It's really a new team. The Alouettes are a new team. We're a new team, and you don't know what to expect out there. It could be a dogfight for 60 minutes.
When you're preparing for an offense, obviously you would look at the quarterback. How much of that is a focal point for you in the secondary? Again, every quarterback in this league can throw. Maybe they do it in a different style, though.
No, absolutely. I mean, quarterback's the main guy on offense. So that is definitely something that, changes your game and how you play the game. So the quarterback does mean a lot when it comes to the pass game.
So how much does it influence your preparation then, knowing that they might have a bit of a wounded quarterback heading into this football game?
I think it's mostly about the receivers too, but it definitely changes what you're looking for on the field. If you're expecting a pocket passer, then you expect you know what routes to expect out of that pocket passing situation, and if you're expecting him to be healthy for the game and scramble and get out the pocket, then you got to be ready for plaster drills and stuff like that.
So what does this team then need to do between now and Sunday afternoon to make sure that they're ready?
I think we just need to be us, focus on being us, focus on not changing for them, but being who we know we are and who we are meant to be.
Country's greatest hits live right here. 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station.
It's 6 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Corey Atkinson from the SaskTrade.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news. A Saskatchewan man has been found guilty of second-degree murder almost 2 decades after a teen was knifed in the heart during a fight at an outdoor campground party. Misha Pavlik was 19 when he was killed in the fight involving multiple people near Regina Beach, northwest of Regina, in May 2006. Court heard there were about 100 teenagers drinking, having fun, and enjoying a bonfire, but some who weren't invited to the party showed up, including the accused, court heard, and some brought knives. The accused can't be named due to his age at the time of the murder. Officials say a 39-year-old inmate died yesterday at the Regina Correctional Center after he was found unresponsive late in the morning. Staff tried to save his life and called EMS, but paramedics declared him dead at 11:25 a.m. The RCMP and Saskatchewan Coroner Service are now investigating the death. The Ministry of Corrections, Policing and Public Safety will also conduct